What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to VTS. Oh my God, guys, Echo's back! Wow, I know, I
Oh,
know. I'm so hyped to be back. I missed me too. I get it. I feel it, bro. But that being said, though, I am so hyped to finally be back. Last week, Infinite Dodge, bless that man's soul. He took over for me. I love the guy. So nice of him to do. But when you got the easily best production crew in all of Victoris, am I biased? Probably. Do I care? No. You gotta come back. First of all, let's get some introductions out of the way. I've got my boy, the one and only Proof, here tonight. How you feeling, brother?
What's up? What's up, Echo? Glad to have you back. I'm feeling ecstatic today. Really excited to see what the team's got. And it's 3-0. 3-0 teams in the group so far. So both of them are kind of like gigantic right now, right? They're the top dogs in the group. So I want to see what kind of games they got for us today.
Absolutely. And secondly, I have the one and only man in all of Victorious. Dare I say that might be able to rival my shoe game. I've got Salt Spreader. How you doing, brother?
pretty good, pretty good. And last week we also got to see Clover once again, so we get to see them back on the board right here for this series. And will they stay undefeated? That's the main question we're asking here. Like Proof said, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really
absolutely.
fun.
It's like you're saying, they're coming in back to back, right? And I mean, this is not going to be an easy match to say the least. We've got, it's like they say, right? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. And we've got Virtue Game and Ambition and Clover both going up tonight, who are both 3-0, right? So that means someone is going to take their first L of the night in this entire series. So it's going to be two big teams going up against each other. Now, you guys already did say that, you were seeing Clover's performance. How are they looking the other day? Not the other day, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I have to jump in on this. For those who are missing Clover, well, you guys got another shot at Clover tonight, right? Last week we saw them, and this week, so you really can't miss them that much. Back-to-back appearances on the stream. As far as their playstyle concerned, it was very close. They had to sub out a mid laner to bring the third series back, and it was a Galio mid lane. So that was really interesting to see. So let's see if they have any plans like that. Or we're going to see their usual mid laner, Young, play today, who was playing a lot of control mages. He's good on the Victor, Syndra. So those type of things we're going to look out for. And as far as virtual gaming ambition is concerned, for those of you who want new faces or new kind of blood and a stream, to have kind of like those new talents, this is it for you, because we haven't seen virtual gaming at all. This is my first time seeing them, and apparently they were doing really good. So something to look out for sure.
Definitely, definitely. And looking at the name Chapanya fan, you got to know that this guy knows what's going on there. A little shifter reference there. Old retired pro, still a great guy though. But it's going to be a fun one. The ranks here look pretty strong overall. Very solid rosters on both sides.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you think they would be solid indeed if you're going 3-0 right into this competition. Like, you got some of these teams who've just been taking L's back to back, and Virtue Game is going like, yeah, that was me. I did that, and they're looking to do it again tonight to Clover. Now, it might be a little early to go, but honestly, because we are a little lower on time, short on time, I should say. Let's jump into predictions, man. How are we feeling? Who's taking it home tonight? Who's taking the L tonight, and who's taking the dub? That's the more important question. Who's taking that W? Proof. What do you think, brother?
Whoever plays in okay, you got to pay respects to Faker. I think he reached his 1,000 game. I don't know when it was, but recently. So I want to see an Ari mid or a LeBlanc mid. So whoever is able to pull out a good mid lane, a mobile mid laner, and I'm assuming it's going to be Virtual Gaming mid laner, Chapania fan. He plays a lot of mobile mid laners like the Akali, like the Zoe, like the Ari, like the Kiana. So I want to see something like that, some action in the solo lanes. I'm going to go with 2-1, however, still with maybe Clover. I'm really uncertain. I mean, by the way, Echo, you missed it. You missed it last week. I want a prediction. Okay, that was you had to be there. You had to be there. No, you had to be there. But yeah, I'm gonna go with 2-1 Clover if they're able to perform like last week.
Okay. So, what about you, brother?
I gotta go with 2-1 Clover as well. She or her had a great performance there as the AD carry for the side of Clover last week, and they just played really, really well. Their jungler looked good. Every single member, and even when they swapped out their mid, brought in Wang Nooney, still looked like a great team. They knew how to play around it, and they had good compositions overall.
Okay. So far we got two people going over for Clover. I gotta be a little extra. I gotta be that guy. I'm gonna say 2-1 for VGA. That way I can be like, I told you guys so when they do take this thing home. They're honestly, both these teams hella strong, right? But I have a feeling VGA might just take this thing home. So I'm gonna go with VGA. You already see on your screens. 2-1 though. We're all going for 2-1, so it's definitely, we're all kind of in agreement that this is going to be a much more kind of drawn out match, not as much of a stomp, I'd say. What do you guys think, Proof? You feel that way?
Yeah, it's not gonna be a stomp. I mean, I hope so, right? I hope it's a close one because I would
Mm.
hate to see it kind of anticlimactic stomp either way it goes wherever. But for as far as Clover is concerned, we know what type of team they are. We know that they're very aggressive. We know that they're able to adapt a lot too as well in terms of drafting. And I feel like they could come up with really nifty stuff to bring it back in the game. And we saw their AD, like Salt Spreader mentioned, her plays incredibly well when ahead and pretty good one behind too. So
Mhm.
that's going to be the question if Virtual Gaming Ambition did catch up to that from last week. If they did any VOD research over onto Clover, they're going to realize that Clover likes to play a lot of top side and mid. They really not like neglecting their bot lane, but because her is able to create a lot of leads alone in the lane.
Mhm.
Okay, okay. So, what are you thinking?
Exactly the same thing. For the most part, Cheer was left to their own devices for the most part in that bottom lane, but they were playing a lot through that top side and they were making it work there. But it was really reliant on how the top laner did play that series, and when things didn't go well, that's when they lost. When things went great, that's how they won.
Okay, okay, I feel that. Now, I do want to kind of pick your brain a little bit on this Salt Spreader. Now, we were talking about this a
Hmm.
bit before the actual stream started, right? So we do know that her has played a bit of Zeri actually, and the Zeri
Hmm.
nerfs I do believe have come out now.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about those, man? Is Zeri still going to be viable, or is she like her time's up? Next champ, let's go.
Definitely think she's still viable. Did play a game on her yesterday. She still feels pretty strong.
Hmm.
Um, it's mostly about that little combo there, the burst of damage that you get from the Q auto Q, getting that big burst of damage. That's what dropped the most. For the most part, though, her damage is mostly still coming from her burst fire, and that's what's not didn't get touched all that much, just barely. But the attack speed ratio did get increased, so that was a slight buff. So if you are building crit, you are feeling a little better about that crit conversion. However, I still think that the splash damage build is the way to go. It's just so much AoE, it's really hard to match unless you're like a 6-item Jinx.
Okay, okay, I feel that. Man, just looking at their OBGs, I just feel so sad because I remember like way at the start of VTS, Proof was like, "Hey, somebody pick Pike mid lane." We still have not seen the Pike mid lane. I've been
Not
asking the
yet.
teams every time. I'm like, "Please pick it for my boy." Proof, do you think we're ever gonna see this like anytime in the
I
VTS?
don't know, man. I don't know. I would, you know, when
Have
when
hope,
this
have
split is
faith.
over, yeah, I want to see one Pike mid lane, and I think, I mean, for at least for today, I put my standards down a little bit. You know, I'm like, okay, I'll go with a LeBlanc or an Ari. I don't mind that. At least that's something to watch out for as well. Just paying respects to Fake.
I feel that. I mean, we still have 4 more weeks to go, so who knows? Just maybe. You gotta have that little bit, a smidget of hope, little bit of faith. We might just get to see it. I do believe. Okay. So teams are finally, and we're getting closer and closer. The
Mhm.
anticipation is building, to say the least. My God, it was man, dude. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. It was leg day today, and I'm standing because I got the standing desk, and my legs
Standing
are
desk.
killing me, bro. You already know the moment I send it off to you, I'm sitting down, I'm chilling,
You're gonna
I'm watching
collapse.
this thing, dude. I would just fall over at some point, bro. You're just gonna hear like, "Dum," and I'm gone, bro. And then it's just gonna be like, no more hosting, bro.
No more.
No more indeed. That being said, though, I won't even lie. It was hard to have to actually just watch the stream from the sidelines, bro. I was feeling so terrible last week. Once again,
Mhm.
Infinite Dodge. If you are in the chat, if you're watching, God bless you, man. Thank you so much for
Mhm.
doing such an amazing job at handling my VTS kids and my two boys here as well. I know they're a rowdy bunch. They're a little hard to handle sometimes, but you know
Mhm.
they're good kids. They're good kids.
Echo, you might have to watch the game from underneath your desk, bro, after you collapse. So let me know how our voices come through. But
Bet I will do.
yeah, for sure. Finally, I think teams are getting the notice that yeah, they have a game today, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yep.
where were
Yep.
they? In the lobby. Okay, so they're
Yeah.
coming in the lobby, and
Oh.
we got the spectators and everything going on. So Echo, by the way, I know you didn't ask this because you obviously host, but are you willing to like stand behind your prediction today by going head to head with Salt Spreader by the end of the split? Maybe we could have a shoe trade or something like that, bro. You know,
Ooh, okay, okay,
something like
okay.
that. What size? What size
Damn.
is your foot?
I am 10
Ooh.
and a half to 11. What about you,
10.
I,
Salt?
wow, we are the exact same size. That
Oh,
is crazy.
Oh, there it
okay.
is. There it is.
Okay.
Hey, I'm you know what? I'm on the 9.5, 10, but I could grow into easily at
Throw in a
yeah.
10-5. Throw in a
Yeah,
10-5.
I could, you know, I could rock it. Don't worry. I'll put in some pads on there. It's all good. It's all good.
At this
Um,
point, Proof's just trying to make me lose my shoes, bro. I swear, every time he's always like, wager some up,
Hey,
bro. Like,
gotta pull up, I guess.
yeah, for real. These are my children, man. I can't be doing it
You
to them like
cannot.
that.
No. No, you
Exactly.
gotta treat them like your
Exactly.
babies. That's what they
Exactly.
are.
That's so good. Now I have someone who understands me, bro.
Mhm.
Like with someone who gets me, bro. I was like, damn, my man got the box set up as well, dude. Like I got some ugly box tower in the back. I moved my head the wrong way. There we go. Now the chat can see it.
The
Like you got,
boxes.
yeah. But for
Gotta
that,
keep the boxes fresh though. Gotta
that's
keep
true.
them
For that,
perfect condition.
I got the shelf for the shoes for that though. So you know
Mhm.
how it be. That being said though, oh, they're still waiting. Man, can I get ready? The people want to see this game. What's going on? My God, they are just taking
People,
People waiting a
it.
little bit.
Yeah.
I think they're just settling in here. But
Mhm.
you know, my also thing is, did you guys hear that there was a statue of Fiora, like
I did
actual
not.
statue, like detail, like some artist made it, and they're gonna sell it soon.
Oh.
And it's like going for 1K. So
Jeez.
you know, I'm already letting you guys know if this screen disappears, don't be surprised to see a Fiora behind me or a
Mhm.
Braum, right? So I'm dude, actually my brother was telling me this, like I don't know if you guys love Yu-Gi-Oh or anything like that, Blackluster Soldier. Like there was a mall here in California, they were selling little mini statues and they're going for a lot of money. Like,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
you guys are collecting shoes behind you. Guess what I'm gonna be collecting? I'm gonna be collecting racks of statues.
Mhm.
That's gonna be my scenery behind. But
That's the scenery.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. He's gonna have all the boys watching. He's gonna have his own little audience hyping him up there in
Mhm.
the background. Just have all the statues there. That would actually be sick though. I'm not even gonna
More members of the Friday Night Crew. What can you say?
Exactly. Exactly. I will say though, you have like what 100 some plus something chance to choose from. You choose Fiora, bro. You kind of trolling, bro.
Oh
I'm gonna
man,
just
yeah,
say
I
it,
don't
bro.
know.
You kind of trolling, bro. I'm gonna just say you
Ooh,
kind of
ooh.
trolling. That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
Yeah, I mean at least Braum, right? Braum I feel like would be a really good statue. I already have the
Yeah.
miniature little pop-up one of those things.
Oh,
But
that's dope.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, at least that we get some stuff for League, right? Some collectibles and stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
That's
And
fair.
but yeah, man. As far as the games for tonight is concerned, I wonder if teams are actually ready for it because I know some teams haven't warmed up or they usually come in and think that they're able to run away with a win here, and sometimes they don't even practice from their last
That's a
game
statement.
in
That's
other
a
leagues.
statement.
So yeah, we've seen that happen, like some upsets happen here and there, but so far, you know, we've been able to go away with decent clips and games. So I'm really excited for this one. I think we should be ready to go in a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean, this is the kind of matchup where as well you can't be coming into
Oh, you
this
can't
thing.
be
It's just
late.
yeah, that
Mm-mm.
too. But it's like
Mm-mm.
you can't be coming here without practice, bro. It's like this is you're not just going up against like the team that's like 1-4 or something like that. You know, you're like this will be easy stomp. No, no, sir. This is not one of those matches, bro. This is like this gonna be nasty to say. This is not like God. Was that week 2 where we saw the Lee Sin? I can't get the Lee Sin support out of my head, bro. That has scarred me for life, bro. That is
That
just
was a
Yeah, the
scarred me.
thing.
MGM, the
Wait, that's
MGM picks.
crazy.
Yeah, that scarred
Yeah,
me for life, bro. Turbo Chem Tank, like I forgot what else he built. Yomu's Ghost Blade Lee Sin or something like that. And it worked, bro. It worked. That's the thing. It worked. That's
Mhm.
like
Oh my. Wait, you just have so many more wards. It's crazy.
like bro, I was contemplating
You
just
have
quitting
6
league at that
wards.
point, bro. I was like, damn, I'm done here, man. If this working out, what's the point, bro? Why am I even playing?
Wait,
Oh
hear
my
me out.
god.
You can have
Mm.
up to 8 wards with 2 control wards, the yellow wards from your trinket,
Hmm.
and your support item. So you can have 8 wards in your backpack, just
So,
ward jumping
so,
everywhere.
so Salzburg, what you're essentially saying is that you'll have more words than your cooldown offers on W. So even if you wanted to like ward hop around,
Just
it's
for the
gonna look
drip,
like
bro. Just place him for the drip. Like you gotta do what you gotta do.
True.
just forget about landing sonic waves at that point. Just ward hop from place to
From one ward to the next. Just you just stand there. It's like I only move when I ward house. Sorry, bro.
Mhm.
Like that's all it is.
Just gotta
Listen,
ward
man,
hop only.
absolutely. At the end of the day, kills, deaths don't matter. CS doesn't matter. Vision score, baby. That's where it's at. The vision score. As long as that's high,
yeah,
everything's
vision
good.
score. You carry your team with vision score, man. It's no joke. It's no joke. You know what the
Definitely
only
not.
thing that coaches like, I mean, the higher elo you go, like there's not a lot where the coaches at that point tell you, but they tell you one thing at least still, and I hear this a lot in team VOD reviews and stuff. Vision, that's number one thing. Like you gotta ward, and as annoying as it sounds, that actually plan might work for Lee Sin. We might see a Lee Sin support 2.0 here. I want to do that. I want to do this.
Oh lord.
That would
Bro.
be fun. That would definitely be fun to watch.
Yeah. That being said, though, okay, we are getting confirmation
Mhm.
that they are just about ready on the draft. So I will send it off to my 2 lovely casters here. I'm going to sign out and return to the host cave, and I'll be back with you guys after the game. Good luck, fellas.
All right. Thank you,
Alrighty,
Echo.
alrighty.
So here we go on the draft. What are we gonna expect here, right? We talked briefly about when Echo was talking to us earlier what we want to see. You know, for me, it was the solo lane picks from Clover because we saw last week they were playing kind of like their solo lane strong side. It was top side, right? With the Camille, they were heavily investing their jungle roams and making sure the top laner gets fed time and time again. What are we gonna see here? I mean, obviously we haven't seen Virtual Gaming Ambition come out and play on stream. So I'm assuming here we might also have some spicy picks, some things that we might be surprised about. But going into it, what are some standard things that we like seeing in the meta currently and we want to see, especially now for the B1 on side of Clover?
Well, the B1 Zeri, that's definitely something. And I always really do like that B1 Zeri. I think it's just super strong. The only champion you really do need to worry about is the Caitlyn there, especially in lane. But you know, seeing the Jhin picked up against that, Zeri's going to be like, hey, that's so good for me. I am chilling. I do not have to worry whatsoever. And the Gwen also going to be locked in here. Pretty usable flex. We have seen a lot of teams bring it out into the jungle. And it works out very well overall. As a top laner, not the strongest lane phase past level 1, but scales like a monster in the jungle. You're mostly hoping for an enchanter-based mid lane or something to help you out. But the Rakan also going to be locked in for Clover, so just a great pickup here, rotations 1 and 2.
And like I said, I want to discuss this later on too with in regards to the Jhin. Is it really the best marksman right now? Because for me, I've been seeing a lot of it in not only this league and outside of it too. And wait a minute, it's gonna be a Pyke? Tell me it's gonna be a Pyke. Oh, I thought it was gonna be
not a Pyke. It's a Nautilus.
Okay, I got your beta, dude. That's the worst feeling ever. But Nautilus into Rakan, that's something spicy there.
And the support matchup usually goes in favor of the champion that's not Rakan. His lane phase is not really strong. You mostly play him to scale. He has great scaling with his shields, with his great engage from long range. He is very good at just maneuvering around fights. Very slippery there. But the Xin Zhao, a great pickup from Clover. Just a tier 1 jungler, one of the best in the game right now. Super strong early, has great ganks. And overall just a super strong champion in that respect. We just see a lot of AP options, though, being taken away on both sides. From Clover, we saw the Zoe Lilia taken off the table. And on VGA, it's going to be the Diana and the Syndra off the table. Oh, is that the Gurf Hover? Is that the Gurf Hover? It is going to be the LeBlanc ban, though.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be definitely the LeBlanc ban. And the Kindred ban is really good. Aimed towards Virtual Gaming Ambitions carry jungler. They still are not really sold that the Gwen pick is going to jungle. So they're still kind of like, okay, we want to ban out these carry junglers that Captor does play. He plays a lot of Graves, a lot of Kindred, a lot of Nidalee. And I think maybe if not Gwen, it's going to be something else. But we do see the Katarina hover over here.
If it gets locked in.
Oh, I don't think it will.
Dog.
But the Nasus,
I don't know if you lock that in there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a coin flip at that point because do you really want to blind Katarina into blue comp? Okay,
there's your Ahri.
The Ahri comes out. That's in dedication of Faker. I kind of like this. We saw it over in LCK. Maybe it'll be nice over here too. Who knows, man? But still, solo lanes aren't picked on the side of Clover, and we know they love playing towards their solo lanes.
And the Ahri pickup here, I think it's a great solo queue champion. Still does a lot of amount of damage overall, but in competitive, I just don't think it's super great. There's a lot of ways you can counter it here, and the Sylas, definitely one of them there. Has a great mobility, has great sustain, can actually trade with the Ahri very well post level 5-ish. When you have a couple points in that W, you can actually start winning out on those. Innately, though, Ahri will have more sustain in the lane phase, but this set going to be locked in here blind. Really solid blind pick. The Bruiser item changes definitely did hurt him a little bit, but I do believe he got a touch of this patch. So he is not in the worst of spots, but definitely not as strong as he used to be. But the Xerath.
Oh, don't tell me.
No way.
There's no way this is going to be like an Ahri solo lane with Xerath solo lane. Okay, it's going to be the jungler. Like we anticipated here, the Gwen might not be the jungle pick, and then maybe one of the solo laners here, either top or mid. You could really flex because there's a Sylas on the other side and set. So if you really want to get creative with it, if you don't like that Ahri versus Sylas matchup, you could just switch lanes, keep on putting them on their feet there. And it's gonna be the Hecarim, or they like hovering here. VGA like kind of baiting us in. Yeah, and I feel like for Capture, this is one of his least played junglers here. So I don't know how that will work because he really loves playing on the Nidalee before kind of going into deeper champion pool, and that's going to be that. But we don't know. He could be practicing in scrims, and that's something we don't really necessarily see on the OP.GGs.
Definitely not. But the Hecarim still a really strong jungler. Xin Zhao is still the pick, though, if you want that super good, super broken jungler. Hecarim, though, with this new tank build that we have seen, well, not new per se, but it's definitely becoming more prevalent here, especially in LPL and LCK. Just the full tank, not even a single damage item on the Hecarim coming through. So, I mean, it's definitely going to scale well. Tanks do scale really well nowadays. They do damage. They don't die. It's just how it is. But it's very interesting to see that they are going to opt into the Hecarim here. Trundle was still up, though, and there are double bruisers on the side of Clover. And it would be pretty nice to have, especially if you want to deal with the Xin Zhao. Trundle is considered the counter there. But going over the top matchup here, Gwen into Set. Set definitely wins lane, but Gwen will start scaling like a monster once she hits that level 9, level 13. When she hits those two breakpoints in her levels, that's when she starts taking over that matchup, and the Set just cannot do anything about it, especially if the Gwen uses her Hallowed Mist properly.
Yeah, and to elaborate on that point too, right? Because I like VGA's. I like one thing that they did here in this game. They took the Gwen away from Clover. Last week, this pick was absolutely detrimental in Clover's success in a close series against yet another undefeated team. So they got away with it, right? The Gwen was absolutely rocking Summoner's Rift last week. And this pick always is good. It's not the worst. I feel like you can never go wrong with a Gwen pick, especially late game. And these competitive environments, the game is kind of dragging on, and it's going to be centered around these big objectives like the Baron, like the Drag, like getting the Ocean Soul. So Gwen really excels in that aspect of the game, not necessarily in laning phase unless you're playing into a Scion. Yeah, Gwen is absolutely wonderful. It's not that wonderful if you're playing against a Jace as a Gwen, because your laning phase is going to look horrible, but like I said, I like that from VGA heads up play. It looks like they did their research, and I want to see that reflected in the game.
One thing to note, though, Clover running with Wang Nooney up in the top lane and not Zeka this time, so going to be a little bit of a different look. Young is back in the mid lane, however, so Wang Nooney going to be making another appearance for the side of Clover. Different looks, different lane, so we'll see how he does fare up against the Gwen. And as a Set, you just really have to win lane, and I really want to see the Xin Zhao just sitting top lane, just making sure this Gwen cannot play the game. That is what you need to do. You need to make sure the Set is ahead so you can actually start dueling the Gwen as this game starts going on, because this Gwen will just split like a monster, takes towers like a monster, and can team fight just as well as the Set.
I don't know if you guys can hear me, and this is kind of like my worst nightmare happening. My computer crashed, so
oh no.
I don't know if
you're good.
Is my camera working?
Yes.
Oh, you guys can see me? All right.
We can see you. We can hear you.
All right, that's fine. That's fine with me. It's just that my screen absolutely froze. So maybe I'll do something creative, like maybe going on the computer watching the game. But anyway, besides the point, what minute are we in spectator delay right now? I think we should be. Okay, so I guess it gives us time to talk a little bit more about this Salt Spreader. You know, going into the matchup, you talked a little bit about the soul lanes, but let's go to the bot lane, right? Let's. Jhin, is he a really good marksman right now? I mean, would you consider Jhin to be kind of in team environments, not in solo queue? You know, extract solo queue mentality and everything in between. Is Jhin a really good champion in these 5v5 situations? Because a lot of coaches might not agree with that, and a lot of coaches think that if you're even like 30-0 on this champion, it never feels good enough, especially late game. I mean, yes, you are doing a lot of crit damage, but in 5v5 scenarios, you know, he's not that favorable according to some people.
I mean, we did see the same thing happen. It was Clover who actually picked the Jhin. It popped off, but it did not win. It did not have the chance to pop off. It doesn't have the DPS that's really necessary. It has a lot of damage, but it's all pretty backloaded. You need to get those force shots off in those fights. You need to be able to land every single little bit of your kit in order to match what a Zeri can do, what a Jinx can do. In those team fights, you just have to sort of run around, right-click, make those things happen. You have to make every shot count there on the Jhin. And he's great at neutralizing lanes. That's why you usually pick him in competitive. He's not meant to, like, hard win the lane. He's just meant to neutralize it against power picks and be left alone for the most part. Nautilus is going to help win that lane phase really well, especially up against a champ like the Rakan, who just does not have any lane presence whatsoever. But this Zeri is just going to scale like a monster, and Jhin really can't do much to deal with it. And the fact that Zeri's Q is 825 range, if this Zeri is even slightly ahead, this Jhin will never be able to match your damage output.
Oh, well, that I guess that makes a lot of sense for us now, and that's something to look out forward to in this first game between Clover versus Virtue Gaming Ambition. Both teams, mind you, are 3-0 headed into the series, so anything is possible, and this is kind of like the top dogs in the team, so I feel like a lot of other teams should be taking notes and seeing what they do in order to beat them in the future weeks. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we got quite a show on our hands, and it's going to start soon after we toss it to a break. We'll be right back.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You're probably asking yourself, what the hell? What happened to Proof? He sounds a whole lot different, and that's because something's just going on right now with Proof species, so he'll be here in a small bit. So I get the pleasure of actually casting with Salt Spreader, who I've only really been
Mm-hmm.
able to watch a few times. So I'll be hopping in for the PvP until Proof gets back here, and then I'll relinquish his throne back to him. That being said, though,
Mm-hmm.
Salt, I mean, looking at just the runes, items, everything. Anything specific you kind of want us to keep our eye on, or is this all pretty much par for the course?
Pretty par for the course there. Jin actually going very, very defensive on his item and rune setup.
Mhm.
Fleet footwork with the whole boots 4-pot start. Very, or not very aggressive whatsoever, which is not something I wanted to see out of this Jin. I wanted him to try and stop this lane, especially with the Nautilus there. Try and get something going there, build an advantage, and try and do something against this Zeri, but I guess he just sort of wants to neutralize the lane as best as possible, but a neutral lane against the Zeri is definitely not a winning lane, and that is very
Mm,
scary to think about as this game does go on here. Other than that,
definitely.
though, everything's pretty standard. Ignite on the Gwen, definitely something you want into the set, who does have a good amount of sustain.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, now we were talking about before, we do have her piloting the Zeri, so we might just get to see the extent of the nerfs here and kind of be able to judge a bit on that. That being said, though, Young already pretty damn low. I know you and Proof were talking about it, as well as our
Oh,
producer. Oh, okay. Listen there, just
hmm,
barely talking about just the speed that's gonna come out of this mid lane. Actually, it's just gonna be a bunch of just dashing around each other. I'm interested to see that.
definitely. I mean, technically speaking, at the first start of a Silas R with Ari, he's gonna have like 5 dashes, and those dashes reset too. So he's just gonna be moving around the fight at the speed of sound as long as he's hitting those E's. But level 2 does get
Yeah.
hit.
Ooh, oh, Hawkster is gonna miss the dredge line now that they did hit level 2. So unfortunately, nothing quite gonna come out of that. I would say that
Mhm.
would have been quite dangerous. I'm pretty sure he would have been under a turret there. So you know what? Maybe it's for the best. Maybe that was the
Might
sign.
be
That
for
was
the
the sign. Like, don't
best.
do it, bro. Don't do it.
It's a little scary there, but it is a good look though to push for that level 2, try and make something happen there,
Yeah.
especially in the Nautilus Jin lane. You are supposed to win it, and being even, that's okay. But as the Jin, you really don't want to be in this position. You want to be ahead, but you don't know where the Xin Zhao is. You don't know where anyone started, mainly because both sides did just 5-point. So no aggressive invades, which is really interesting. Clover did like to go for those last week, but good vision setup, trying to get some wards in those lanes so that Rakan can't find a cheeky engage there onto that Jin.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like that first game, right? So it's like you're really just kind of testing out the waters, right? Seeing how good is this team, and then maybe in game 2 we kind of start seeing Clover bringing out some like crazy invades, a little bit of early aggression. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, really no need to kind of risk anything, right? Just just tread the waters, see what it's like.
Mm-hmm. One thing to note, though, the set actually did start the W in that lane, which is
Hmm.
definitely interesting to see. We do see a lot of sets going for that E cheese. Little bit of a fight, though.
Yeah, indeed, immune field, but it doesn't matter when Wang Nooney is just right in your face, just giving you the left, right. So a little damage does come out from that, but overall, this is just a very slow start, slow build up, slow little
Mm-hmm.
ramp up, one might say. As we just kind of wait for something to actually happen, and it looked to me like Laspa might try to make something happen in that mid lane. Nah, he's actually just gonna go up in the jungle, see if there's anything to counter jungle, but everything's gone, buddy. That jungle's empty.
Mm-hmm. And Hecarim going that tier, so he is going for that Chem Tank Manamune build with the Conqueror, so it's a little different than the standard setup we do see from Hecarim. I was expecting either the Trinity Force or Divine Sunderer coming out with that
Mm.
Conqueror setup, but I mean, the tank build with Manamune does do a lot of damage, though. It isn't as strong as it used to be. I personally think that... Ooh.
A little bit of an engage coming in from Live, so not quite gonna connect though. We'll be able to dash back to she, her, and just get out of that fight like it was nothing. And I feel like, okay, wait, top lane, might have to hold that on hold. Directed cam once again, just can't make up its mind here. But I was gonna say, so you're telling me that when it comes to the Hecarim here, we might just see a third Speedy Boy on the Rift. It's not just gonna be the mid lane, huh?
Nope, we are going to see a third Horsey running around at the speed of sound. With that Ghost as well, he's just going to be moving, and Ghost also resets, so he's just going to be moving at the speed of sound if fights keep going long and extended. The Ghost reset is just the most fun thing in the world if you're playing a champ like Hecarim. Constant high AD with that Ghost active is just really funny to happen. But yeah, the Gwen is still going to be losing out on this lane. She does not have the Riftmaker just yet, or even too many levels in that queue. And the set will win out on this lane for now. But it's just a ticking time bomb, and for the most part, the set's down a couple CS, so that's definitely not the position you want to be in. Wave is pushing towards himself, and the same thing that's happening at the top side is happening for the bot side, for the side of VGA. The bot lane that's supposed to be winning isn't making something happen, but I guess they do have to be afraid. It is a Hecarim, and again, it's also a Zinza for the other side. Both these junglers are very aggressive.
So much damage coming out from number 2 Ginger. Just those scissors, man, they do damage, bro. You got to be careful with that. Okay, number 2 Ginger is doing quite a bit of damage. Does pop the immune field, but not going to be quite enough. Wang Nooney kind of realizing, oh, damn, you know, I might have to play this a bit safer than I thought.
And it's that item advantage. The Gwen was able to get her base off TP. Now it's up a little bit of CS. It is going to be evened out here if the set does catch this entire wave, but that TP did make sure she was able to get that wave under and come back with some components to her name. And now she gets to get another base and come back with an even stronger component there. The Leeching Leer feels pretty good. Gives you more sustain that you are sorely missing in lane. So having that little bit of Omnivamp for your auto attacks helps out a lot. Doesn't really do much with your Q, mainly because your Q counts as AoE, and AoE damage is only 33% effective with Omnivamp. So you're healing for like 2 health when you land a full Q onto anything. Feels pretty bad. But
hey, you never know, man. You never know if that 2 HP comes in clutch.
It can, but you know what is coming in clutch? That dragon, they were able to get some prio in the bottom side, or not prio, they did sack at least half away for that, so they are going to get that first dragon. It is infernal, which definitely benefits the Jhin quite a bit. Every little bit of AD counts on that champion, and the faster you can get that AD rolling, Jhin is going to end up with like somewhere around 400 to 500 AD as this game does go on. We do see a gank here.
Number 2 Ginger did get caught out there, but we'll be able to retreat to the turret. Nothing quite going to come out of that. It's just, man, I'm going to start screaming every time the immune field comes out. Immune! Immune! It's just like, it does not matter what you throw at her. If you're not in that zone, you're not doing anything. Gwen,
how it is.
Immune? What?
Who would have thought? Gotta love the immunity. It feels pretty good to play FO.
Oh, you know who might not be immune, though, to death? That is Champagne going pretty low there. CR Young gonna grab the ultimate from him, but needs to be careful. A lot of damage coming up from those minions. Actually, the Winions trying to get that job done. Nothing quite gonna come out of it. Looking to fight on. Kingslayer there. Champion is so low, and there we go. There's the first blood. Very nicely done by Young.
Great plays come in from Young. He was popping off last week. He's popping off again here on that carry, on that Silas. And I do really like the itemization that he did go in that early null magic mantle, especially up against a champion like the Ahri. Just feels great. She's very reliant on base numbers, and having that helps out quite a bit. Her scalings aren't super high, about 30% on each ability, but you know, Merc Treads, especially against champs like that Nautilus, like the Hecarim with the Fear, that's a really good buy. Very not greedy.
Ooh, we might see a goodbye coming up from Wang Nooney if he can pick up that kill, and those 300 gold gonna hit him with the showstopper going in very low, but Laspa's there to clean up. Oh, no, sir. Will still go 1-for-1. Number 2 Ginger, so much damage coming out from that Q. That back definitely did help a bit, but now Laspa might just get sent into the grave as well. Gonna be hit with the onslaught of shadows. Needs to use the crescent guard, but I don't know if it's gonna be enough. A lot of damage coming out. He's pretty damn low, and he's gonna go down. And now Limit Tester is testing his limits. He might just go down here. He is gonna go down as well. A double kill going into the hands of Captor.
Microwave to death there with that Balmy Cinder. Ooh boy, Hecarim's getting strong, 2-0. That's a snowbally jungler, and he's already snowballing, getting that ball rolling. And he's just going to be moving around these fights like we said earlier, but that Manamune stacking up pretty quickly. He was able to get a lot of stacks there against those enemy champs.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay. Very nice little engage there by her hopping over that wall. Low-key, though, see, like, what the hell just happened? Where did you come from?
I got ganked by my own laner. What's this?
Exactly. Like, straight up, like, just 2 junglers on the map now. And oh, okay. Going in for a little bit of engage here. Young hitting up the Killslayer. A lot of damage coming out. Does get hit by the charm, though. Not quite anything going to come out of it, though. Laspa was there as well to back him up. And so overall, Champagne is just going to be like, oh, you know, I'll take some damage if I can get it.
That's the Merc Treads plus Tenacity Ruins there, and Unflinching. This guy will not be CC'd by anything this game. Young just making sure he's gonna be able to move. Sure, you have a million layers of CC, but I have at least 60 Tenacity.
Yep. Hook's not quite gonna connect, but Laspa is here. Can you get him with that triple Q? I think not. Is gonna get charmed, and Champagne will be able to dash under the turret. But yeah, like you were saying, right? Young is just like, you know, a crowd control, more like you have no control over me, and he just can't be stopped.
No control at all. That's the great thing about Tenacity here. It is diminishing returns. It's not the exact number that you think you're going to have, but any little bit of Tenacity helps. And with 2 sources of 30% Tenacity, you're ending up with about 50. Because of those returns there, they don't want you having that much Tenacity. You only have 80 Tenacity in Earth. Hook not going to land. But
Hook the minion, all planned, bro,
Yep.
just to get them closer to the turret.
True.
Secure the farm.
You gotta hold the wave there for your mid laner. Oh.
Okay, a little bit of engage coming in here. You might just have to hold the phone. Nah, number 2 Ginger not quite getting it, but a lot of damage coming out regardless. So just poking them down, keeping them low. You know, you like to see that too.
Definitely. This Gwen, though, definitely having a pretty solid lane, only down 3 CS, but also was able to get that solo kill and turn that 2v1 in her favor. And she is going to be slightly ahead in gold here, maybe about like, oh, she is behind, mostly because of that farm discrepancy. But overall, though, this Gwen not faring too badly. You're happy to be 300 gold behind, especially up against a counter pick like the Set.
Yeah,
and as soon as your scaling comes online, you are definitely going to be in a great spot here.
Oh, flash from Loki Dosi to get away from the wind becomes lightning connecting. And speaking of coming online, Captor has gotten that chem tank now, so he's just even more and more dangerous. We're going to have to see him just speeding over the road. At this point, we're just going to be seeing him everywhere.
Definitely. And the chem tank spike is really big for Hecarim. He moves around a lot, and it's only the dash cap that got removed from Chemtech. So the fact that Hecarim is going to be running around, that's how you stack it up. That's what gets those chem tank autos coming through. But it's looking like a big team fight for the second trade.
Yeah. Speaking of stacking up, they're going to try and stack up some kills here. Trying to go in here. Young is going to get hit by the ultimate dome. Onslaught of Shells coming out, but he will go down. Young is out for the count. Laspa popping the Crescent Guard, but it doesn't matter when you're surrounded by a 4-man here. Limit Tester might have tested his limits a bit too much. Going to go down. Take your seats. The curtain call comes out as well. And that's going to be a 4-0 for the side of the one and only team VGA. Very nicely done. Going to pick up that drag as well.
And that's just a very unfortunate look there coming in. The Rakan using the grand entrance right over the wall there means they don't really have a way into the fight. They have the quickness, but it's not really enough. And they were just corralled in. The Jhin was able to use that curtain call from downtown, pop off there, and all the AoE right in that little corridor made sure every little bit of CC, every little bit of damage landed on the entirety of the Clover roster down there.
Yeah, absolutely. It just did so much damage, just decimating them. And I mean, even we saw Young, right? He goes in, he hijacks the ultimate from Captor, but it doesn't matter when you just ult into like the 4-man and just get absolutely demolished. And you will go down. And so like that, VGA have put themselves kind of back into the game, looking good once again. We're going to have to see if they can keep this lead going, or if Clover can find themselves a way to get back into this.
So mythic spikes are coming through now for most of the champions on both sides. It is going to be that Hullbreaker rush, though, coming in for the Set. And we do see a lot of pro players just opting for this Hullbreaker now, because even though you do lose the resistances partway through the fight, you start with the resistances. Even if you are paired up with your team for the first little bit, just make sure you stand off to the side for the first little bit of the fight, and then you can engage, and you're still really tanky for the first 6 seconds, and that's really, really great there. And it's a great laning item as well, especially for this 1v1. Those resistances help out a lot against the Gwen, who does not have the Riftmaker just yet, so she's operating solely on the Q true damage, so all of that damage is going to be reduced by the Hullbreaker for now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like you were saying in Pro Play, we see that a lot. Someone who gets to cast the LJL. Dude, I'm getting tired of seeing Hullbreaker, bro, honestly. It's like, straight up, okay, we're going to have to go for the team. But first, number 2 Ginger, going to hit him with 2 procs of the ultimate, force Wang Nuni to flash out of there. I do believe you also burnt the Ignite, so that is going to be a sum down, but Ignite for flash, definitely love to see it. Like I was saying, though, bro, okay, you know it's too much when you just see the Graves rushing Hullbreaker and play the steel caps,
Hullbreaker.
Oh, God. And that'd be a little bit of a team fight, though. Take your seats, silence the phones. Curtain call comes out, but nothing quite going to come out of it. Some very nice dashes and the Crescent Guard. Meanwhile, in that mid lane, Hook and the Charm are both going to connect. Chepanya needs to dip, is going to dash off the wall and get out of that one safe and sound. Man, we're just getting baited at this point, bro. It's like you set up all these fights, nothing coming out of it. Come on. I'm trying to see some action.
Definitely looking for some action here. It looks like things are happening, but, you know, it's just the trade of summoners. No real kills coming through, except for that one big fight that did happen in that river corridor there. But interesting start here for the Ahri, going for that Leandri's Anguish. I don't know how I feel about that item, especially with the cooldowns that Ahri has. I just don't think she applies it super effectively, especially as her mythic. I think she really does want that pen from the Ludens or even the Everfrost combo to just keep them locked down.
Well, speaking of keeping them locked down, not quite anything going to come out. But now the Ganker to the bot lane has commenced. Capture going and doing a lot of damage, but is incredibly low. Needs to dip. Trying to get last, but are going to find that. They might be able to turn this thing around. The Showstopper, though, doing a lot of damage. Sheer will pick up a kill, but go down. Now Wang Nuni in a bad spot, pulling him in. So much damage coming up from the Haymaker, but still goes down. A double kill for number 2 Ginger. He's trying to become number 1 Ginger right now. Not quite going to get Limit Tester, though. They're going to let them fall back to their turret. but they pick up a very nice triple kill in total.
Big triple kill coming through. That is definitely what you want to see here for the side of VGA. Their bot lane that needs to snowball is snowballing. Down a little bit of CS, but you have 2 kills, 5 assists. Not a single death to name. You take those every day of the week. The Hecarim is just being this catalyst here, running around the map, making sure plays go their way. And right now, it's definitely Captor who's leading this game, who's shot calling everything, making the decisions, making things happen. And that's very, very strong jungling coming out from the side of VGA so far.
Absolutely. I would follow Cap there anywhere he leads me because he's doing a phenomenal job, like you were saying, of calling those shots. He's just there whenever his team needs him. He's not scared to get in their head first, pop that chem tank, just rush in, and it seems to work out flawlessly, almost flawlessly. They did end up losing Hawkster, unfortunately. Hawkster? What the hell am I saying? Hawkster, unfortunately, a valiant sacrifice. He will be remembered. Send the dog tags to his family. That being said, though, number 2 Ginger is trying to get a little bit of damage off on that turret. Can't quite find anything, though. Nooney's just doing a good job of just holding it down that top lane.
You just got to respect the fact that he's playing set, you know. Yeah. He will taste tank everything you have and throw it right back. You're still not that level 13. You do have the Riftmaker on.
A lot of true damage coming out. Now Captor is moving up to help his boy, maybe. Not quite going to find anything. Last but is showing his face. So I'm not sure if they saw him. I don't think they did. Limit Tester and Last but are looking to hop over the wall here, and now they've been spotted. Charm coming out, followed up by the Q by Champagne, are going to drop that Rift Herald, so that should take care of that little turret issue that they have in the top lane. And Wang Nooney realizing, yeah, I got to dip if I don't want to die here.
But an objective bounty claimed on the other side of the map definitely helped them out a little bit, but it is a 3k gold deficit. I'm still surprised that objective bounties are still up. I usually thought it did come up around 5k, but you know, just how it is for now. But the set just getting bullied here a little bit. We do see a lot of pressure being brought up to the top side, and this Gwent is starting to win out on these trades now. Set though with the Hullbreaker still does a lot of damage.
Ooh, does connect, followed by the Everfrost as well. So much damage coming out, just gonna blow him out of existence. But now Young grabbing that ultimate. This is very nice for the side of Clover, doing a lot of damage, gonna get captured as well. So many shutdown coming out. Ginger very low, goes down, and just like that, the tides have been turned, the tables have been flipped, and Clover is back in this game. Young, he's like, yo, give me that ultimate. I'm gonna do the same thing you do, but only better. And now he's looking to pick up yet another kill. Champagne fan, not much he can do. Is gonna flash over that wall, just barely get out of that one alive.
And guess where the big shutdowns went? That's right, straight to the back pocket of she, her on the Zeri. And the build path is great. Already building towards that Titanic Hydra. The damage is going to be insane. The output is going to be crazy. And the splash is going everywhere like a water park. Zeri's going to make things happen. And I'm very excited. I love watching Zeri's just run around team fights. And this is the damage build. You're not going for that Black Cleaver second. You're going to make things happen with that Titanic Hydra. You want to pop off. You want to make things happen. And the fact that Zeri is just able to run around freely, not get hit, that is definitely what you wanted to see there for the side of Clover, making things look good, especially with she, her. You know, burns the flash, but that's more than fine if you're able to get double shutdowns.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only is she, her, right? We saw Young he's like, yo, I got my redemption arc coming up right now. He hijacks the ultimate from Captor, just sends it into there combined with the Everfrost, just able to do so much damage and allow the Zeri, enable her to just not take any hits because he's tanking everything for his team. And then they come out on top, showing VGA that they are in this thing to win it, that they will not go down without a fight.
And I don't really know if you could call it a redemption arc right now because Young was farming well, even though he was behind in kills, he was definitely still keeping up in CS. He has a 2 kill worth of gold in CS right now, 30 CS, really in a good spot. Also got that bot tower here. But in the bot side, you know, with these 2 top laners now rotating down towards this, trying to get these turrets rolling here, the Hullbreaker is going to help with the defense of this bottom tier 1.
Yeah, we'll call Young's story. It's his hero arc then right now. Now he's stepping up to he's stepping up to the plate. He's been training for years and now he's realizing how to lead his team effectively. Okay, but oh no, the villain arc here. Oh, a very nice ultimate to counter Captor, though. It might just get out of that one. Gonna wait for that TP, trying to bait him in. Young is here to help him out, but Wang Nooney will probably go down solo, and he does go down. It's all up to Young to make something happen. Will the sacrifice be worth it? I think not, because he is gonna go down. Number 2 Ginger just almost going down on the turret, but now she, her looking to follow maybe the legacy. Let's see if he decides to go in. I don't know if that's the move. He's kind of baiting us here a little bit. Yeah, no, he's just going to try and do some damage, trying to scare him off. Limit Tester is here as well to back up just in case anything happens, but I think that's all we're going to see for right now.
The big burst of HP can't really come through for the Gwen now that her ultimate is down. The needlework is where that, you see Gwen's go from like 0% HP all the way back up to half. As soon as those needles land and hit 2 targets, all that Conqueror health, all that Riftmaker, Omnivamp just means she regenerates everything. And she does heal as long as she's landing those 1,000 cuts passives. So every little needle there applies it. And she just heals so much from hitting more than one champ. And that's a very scary thought. That's why I do think Grievous Wounds is a big necessity up against the Gwen. If she's allowed to heal, if she's allowed to sustain in these fights, that's how you're going to lose this game. But we do see the Ignite on the side of Limit Tester. And I don't know if that's enough. I do think some external Grievous Wounds is going to be necessary. I would like either a Bramble Vest on the set or a Putrefier there on the Rakan. Either or would be fine in the situation, but there is a great amount of sustain on the side of, or on both sides really. Sylas, Gwen, Ahri, Set, Xin Zhao, every single one of them heals a lot. So Grievous Wounds is definitely high value for both teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we already see that.
Yeah, Captor, right? That was the second item that he grabbed as well. The moment he got back and got that turbo chem tank, he's like, "Oh, what's this shiny little thing? Let me grab that too."
Yes.
Grabs himself the Executioner's Calling, just to have it in his back pocket so that he can just start kind of shutting down those heals. We got the Gore Drinker on the Xin Zhao, just his normal passive healing. Like we were saying, right? Set Kingslayer, not Set Kingslayer. My God, that would be even more terrifying if he had that ability.
No.
Silas' Kingslayer coming out, so it's like definitely, like you were saying, one of those high necessity items. Oh, I thought we were about to see like a 21-minute Baron take here. That would have been interesting. Just a 3-man. They're gonna have to wait though. Get some kills first, and then maybe they can make that happen. Did spot on Champignon? Maybe they go for something. Nah, not gonna go for anything. Just gonna clear that vision. Just want to have that ready, just in case they want to rush it. But we do see that 3-man push into the mid lane. So we're just gonna have to wait for this next team fight.
Now, if we take a look at the backpack of this little Ahri on Chapanya there, has the Liandry's, has the Cosmic Drive, and has the Ionian Boots of Lucidities, that's not a super high damage build. Mostly going for CDR, looking for the picks, looking for that charm. Every single time that charm is up, that's when a play needs to be made. And if you can land multiple charms during a fight with that CDR, or ability haste now, that's going to be very important here. So not opting for that hard carry Ahri the Assassin that we'd like to see for the most part. We are seeing this more so utility-based build coming through.
Yeah, definitely, right? I mean, at this point, I think it's more, they're just going to rely on number 2, Ginger and Captor, to just do the main damage. Just have Ahri kind of there hitting those charms, right? Taking these key players out of position and just out of the fight in general, because they won't be able to do anything while charmed. That being said, though, we're going to have to see which team can take out the Cloud Drake, which is going to be up in 20 seconds. I have a feeling we're about to see a bit of a bloodbath here.
It is going to be a big rumble in the Dragon Pit 5v5. The Scuttle, though, was taken, and it's going to be down, though, right after this Dragon spawn, so they aren't going to have that crazy amount of vision control that little crab there does provide. And there you can just hit that ward from 10 light years away.
Yeah, indeed. We do see kind of that football lineup coming out, though. Young, a little bit late to that party, needs to kind of move in here, and now it might just be a smite fight. Both teams going in, but VGA will secure it. Number 2, take it pretty damn low, is going to go down. No healing for you, my dear. Hawkster goes down as well, and now this is looking like a Clover-based fight. Get another kill. That's a double. Looking to get Loki in that top lane. Can he get him? Windless Lightning does not connect. Yo, Laspa almost going down there, trying to get Champagne fan. If they could just hit the burst fire, it's not going to connect, though.
The range just slightly out, but we do see them opting to run towards this Baron. They can do this. Sure, the jungler's a little low, but if he gets these camps, if he heals up just a little bit, it's more than enough. It's Jhin with no... Oh, he does have the curtain call, though. He can attempt a steal. He could look for something here, but no, he's just going to opt for the base. This goes down too quickly. It's a Zeri. It's a set. They punch this thing too quickly. They punch through the entire purple worm. Get that in their back pockets, dressed in the purple tuxedo.
Absolutely. Just giving them the 1-2 uppercut, taking them down, grabbing that Baron buff, and heading home. Young deciding, actually, let me grab that farm up top as well while I'm at it. I need that extra, but got to get that money, baby.
And she or her has finished that third item. Has the Runons now, and that is just such a big spike. The splash damage is going to be crazy, and that is definitely a wit's end coming through for she, her as well. Looking to finish that up in a little bit, still a little ways away there, only sitting on 31 gold in the back pocket, but, it's definitely something, and it's looking very, very scary now. The MR is definitely going to be important, especially up against this Gwen, up against Chapanya, and there's not much magic pen on the side of VGA, so they're relying solely on base numbers. Gwen does a lot of true damage, though. You got to keep that in mind. You always have to worry about that, but Zeri is going to be able to dash away from that true damage, dash away from all of that, and just run away in general. She is definitely the strongest member right now on the side of Clover, but I mean, number 2 Ginger tried to make something happen. The Ignite actually was not used, but she was just burst. The Gwen had nowhere to go. She was just stunned up, locked up by the Rakan, and she or her was just applying the damage like crazy. That Titanic just putting in so much work that fight.
Yeah, last but limit tester kind of looking for a bit of an opening there. And I will say for she or her may not have a lot of money in the bank, but she's definitely dripped out with those three those 3 items coming out. Wits End surely not too far away as well. So hey, I mean, at least she stayed drippy.
Definitely staying drippy here. 3 items feels great. No one in the game is even remotely close to her gold count there, especially on the other side. Not even 5 digits there on the side of VGA just yet. May tick over there. There we go. It is going to be Ari who does grab that a little 5k or 5-digit breakdown there.
Indeed.
And Zeri's so scary though.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my
Clover
God.
trying to take themselves this top turret as well, but not quite anything going to come out of that. Are going to shut down that push, and so Clover is going to have to wait and look for new opportunities here. That being said, though, I mean, they've been turning this thing around quite nicely, right? They do lose that dragon to VGA. VGA picks it up, but really, at what cost? They lose like 4 of their members, right? They get that Baron buff, and now they're looking to just siege this mid turret. But once again, the push just gets shut down. They'll have Nuni up in that top, trying to apply a little bit of pressure here. And oh, actually, I didn't even notice that Chapanya fan was down in that ball lane, split pushing a bit. But they are looking to go in for a fight here. Young picking up 1 kill, very nicely done. Gonna hit him with that ultimate though. Not a lot really going down, but there we go. There's the damage. Hawkster gonna get taken out, double kill. Looking to get a little trip here. If they can get this kill on Captor, they will shut down the Zeri though. They will shut down the Rakan. Triple kill coming out though for Young. Can he get the quad? I don't think he will. He's incredibly low. Did need to go gold. Can he escape this one? No, sir, you cannot, because Champagne fan picking up the quad for himself. He's like, hey, I'll do what you do, but I'm gonna do it even better.
I may have been bot lane for the start of that fight, but I found a nice pink ward to TP on. That's exactly what happened. Got that gigantic flank, and just Ginger and Chapanya carried that fight. Not a single member of VGA was able to do anything until those 2 appeared, and that's where their gold is, right? A lot of it gonna be on Chapanya, a lot of it gonna be on Ginger, so they're the ones that they have to fight around, and unfortunately, neither of them were there at the start of the fight. The Gwen was there top side trying to deal with the set. Ari was trying to get that tier 2 down the bot lane, but they were able to get it, and now they just even up that gold count, and they have 3 dragons to their name as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, I was shocked that they even decided to go in there under the turret still. That caught me off guard. That's why I was taken aback when that fight first started. But very nicely executed from the side of VJ. But this is what we're talking about. Right? This is not going to be a one-sided stomp match, bro. It's like we keep seeing these team fights turning around for either side. For the last fight, it was Clover that came out on top. This time it's VGA doing so much damage and grabbing all the kills here. And we might just see another repeat of that. Another fight about to go down here. Number 2 Ginger does need to go gold. Where will you go though when it's done? That's right. Maybe not into the grave. Actually will escape with the skip and slash over the wall. Never mind. It's gonna go down after all. And now it's just a full-blown team fight. Loki dosing that top part will be taken out. Double kill going up onto Young. Looking to follow it up on Chapanya fan. Gonna go gold. Where do you go when that's done? You're gonna flash over that wall. Get out of there, that is, because you don't win those fights.
And that is also going to be a dragon going in the back pockets there of Clover. They're more than happy to take that fight. More than happy to find it. And they just win it really hard. Ginger getting caught again at the beginning of a fight. That's what happened in the last dragon fight, and that's what happened this time as well. This time before the dragon actually does spawn. But that's what happens. If this Ginger gets caught before something happens, before they can get that Hallowed Mist up, it's very scary. This Gwen is squishy. She only has a single health item and the Zonia's, so she can get taken down super quickly. And it's something you gotta respect there as the Gwen. She can get caught out. She is no Set. She cannot just face tank your entire team if she's not able to get her spells off. Set only has to get W. The Gwen has to get her Q, has to get her R off, has to get everything rolling in order to survive. That's where she comes in. Her damage is backloaded, but Set can just face tank everything and his damage becomes front loaded.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only that, right? The side of Clover have so many of these champs that want to really get in your face, right? You've got Limit Tester who's looking to just dash at you and knock you up. Young trying to hook you in. Laspa trying to win becomes Lightning and then just dash onto you. And I mean, obviously, Wang Nuni on the set who wants to get in your face. And so your immunity will mean nothing if they get on top of you. If you get caught out like we saw there with number 2 Ginger, pops the immunity field. It doesn't matter though, because you got the 4-man in your face looking to beat the ever-living crap out of you. They do it nicely and they turn that fight around, or not even turn it around. They just absolutely destroy that fight.
Oh, they definitely won that fight. It wasn't even remotely close there. But the Zeri does have that Zonia's, or not Zonia, sorry, the stopwatch in her back pocket, looking for that GA. And going a pretty defensive last 2 items there. Wits End Guardian Angel. Not super offensive, but I don't think she really needs to. She has her core. She doesn't really need the Black Cleaver. The only tank on the side of VGA going to be Captor on the Hecarim, and even still, he doesn't have that much armor just yet. So it's not completely necessary to go that Black Cleaver, but she is fine right now. Those 3 items look really strong. The 4th is a little defensive, but Wit's End definitely feels great up against the Gwen and the Ahri, and it does force the Ahri to build that Void Staff.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh, needs to be careful. We don't want to get caught out like we were just talking about. Will back off, just grabbing a little bit of vision there. And overall, now it's just going to be a bit more slower pace. We do have Baron on the Rift now, looking like the side of VGA want to maybe kind of get ready for it. If they can maybe find 1 or 2 picks here, then they could probably get it started. Kind of see them hovering around, while number 2 Ginger will actually opt to go ahead and just split push in the bot lane here. Or maybe just grab some vision. We'll have to see.
Probably just going to push this bot lane. Not really too many threats now that can truly deal with him. Even the set with the Hullbreaker. This Gwen is full 3 items. She is strong. She does not have to worry all that much here, but it is definitely going to be VGA who do have this Baron setup going. They are already ready. They're getting their resets off. They want to try and get some items. They want to try and have as much gold in their pockets, or as much spent gold in their pockets as they can get. Right here, right now. Rapid Fire finished up for the Jhin. Gonna have a little bit extra range for that initial auto as those fights do break out there. But is it gonna be enough? I don't know. It's a little scary here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all on this Gwen and all on Chapanya here. Chapanya's really popping off on this Ahri, making it work. My thoughts on the champion, not super great, but if you can make it work, if you can find your resets with the with the Spirit Dash or Spirit Rush with how it works now, it's something to think about. It's something that can be very, very scary.
Yeah, absolutely. We were definitely doubters in chat about the Leandries coming out, but so far I've been doing quite a bit of work here. Been playing around it quite nicely. It's been working out for Chapanya fan here, and I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you get the dub, that's really all that matters.
That is true. That is true. Results-based analysis is great, but it could be a fight breaking out.
Okay, indeed. They're looking to get the dub on that kill on number 2 Ginger, but pops the immunity field. Unfortunately, Young did miss the hook, so they're not going to get quite anything out of that. Only a little bit of damage, but number 2's just going to heal that all up. Just going to murder those wolves in savage fashion, just cut them up to pieces. And right now, really, we just see that Clover here are actually going to go for this Baron. They're like, screw it, we're done waiting. Y'all can come over to us if you want to get this Baron. You don't, we'll just grab it for free. So we're going to have to see. Silence your phones. Take your seats. Curtain call does get popped. Not that much damage quite going to come out of it, though. But Nooney is brought down to around half health. So we'll need to just back off here. Stay on that back foot of the fight. Limit Tester is going to go in. A very nice triple charm. Knock up as well. The Unstoppable coming out from Young. Doing so much damage. Hoxer, though, just tanks it like it's nothing. Going to flash out of them and get on. Now they're going to look to turn this thing around. Double kill. Triple kill coming out for VGA. Can they make it a quad? They will lose number 2 Ginger. And now Laspa gonna go down, and so will she, her, and that is an ace, ladies and gentlemen, coming out from VGA. They're like, screw the Baron, let's just push this damn thing.
And that is what happens when you try and turn a Baron fight right away. It was a good look coming in from Limit Tester, but their resistances were shredded. Everyone who wasn't Limit Tester was spat on by the Baron, and they have lost Magicers, they have lost armor, and that just allows Chapanya to just run around the fight, deal so much damage. And this could just be the end right here. It's very scary. Captor getting kind of low, but they're looking to take this inhib. They have a wave. If one who isn't Captor can tank it for just a little bit, they might be able to end the game right here, right now.
Hell, it looks like the minions on the Zeri. Yeah, no, the minions just gonna tank this thing. Limit Tester, the only man up, and now one more turret left standing. There's just nothing he can do. He has to watch as his turrets are taken down, and it's like you said, this will indeed be it, ladies and gentlemen. VGA take the first game. Very nicely done. A very nice performance by both teams, though. A very back and forth kind of match, to say the least.
But it was the solo lanes here. Oh my, yep, nope. That I can't see the damage charts, unfortunately. That is lovely. Thank you, Riot Games. But as I was saying here,
for me too, yep.
Yeah, the solo lanes on the side of VGA looking really, really good. Chapanya did lose lane, yes, but finding these roams, finding these big team fights, just being super mobile and landing those charms, that's what was very important there on the side of VGA. But, you know, we saw her pop off last time. Did it pop off again? It just was not enough.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
indeed. Yeah, it is kind of sad to see, right? And even Young as well. We saw him especially towards kind of that mid game, who was just really trying to lead the charge, going in, constantly hijacking the ult from Captor, looking to make some openings for his teams. However, just sometimes when it came to kind of the prioritization, we saw, especially on that fight for the Baron, right? We saw all of them kind of going for Hawkster, who, I mean, my man's the tank. Hawkster just sits there. He's like, yep. This is my life right about now. He just takes
Mhm.
it all, right? Pops the locket, and then by the time they actually kill him, you're all on like half health, and then they just gets absolutely shredded by Chapanya fan, who just hits him with the Q, hits him with the charm. Captor, who just goes in number 2 Ginger, who does so much true damage coming out from the snipping. And so overall, Clover will fall short, but that was definitely a promising round. And I think if they just give that 110%, they're definitely still in this thing.
Mm-hmm. They definitely are still in this series. They definitely looked okay. They can make things work.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that it was the Gwen that got fed. If Gwen gets fed, it's just so hard to deal with. But Japania also found a lot of kills after being down, after being behind, and was just able to find those picks, and the Zeri just was not enough. And even with the splash damage, it just was not enough there. Not enough peel, and with the tanks just diving straight forward, they were trying to trade backlines, but the Zeri just couldn't follow up. Tried her best in those late game team fights, but she was getting jumped by an Ahri, by a Nautilus, by a Gwen. That's just a very, very scary proposition.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we'll save the rest of the analysis for the desk. So we'll throw it to a short break. And then when we're back, we'll talk it a little bit more in depth as we get to the desk and we wait for the draft of the second game to begin. I mean, I don't got to say it. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that browser. You know you want to see the second game. We'll be right back. All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's turned into a bit of an echo angle here. I'm not gonna lie. Unfortunately, proof had to dip for right now. Jeez, some crazy stuff going on with his PC and the mic just does not want to work. So you're stuck with me tonight. Sorry, Salt, you stuck with me, bro.
Hey, it's all good. We got the shoe duo here.
Yes,
shoe
sir.
spreader angle, just a little bit tonight. Just a little bit.
Yeah. All right. That being said, though,
similar things though.
Yep.
Similar things. It's looking, if Diana's banned here from VGA, it's the exact same bans.
Yeah, I
just
feel
in
like
a different
honestly,
order.
I feel like VGA really doesn't have that much also to kind of worry about when it comes to banning, just because there wasn't anything that kind of, other than the Silas, which they were able to get under control pretty quickly.
They didn't like the Zeri either. I get that.
That's understandable. And okay, so CR are going to get rid of the Gwen, though. Understandably so. They don't want number 2 Ginger chilling on that again. We saw what he could do with it.
Oh.
But they had Diana coming out from the side of Clover. Tell me, why is that so, important?
Well, the main thing that you like to see here with the Diana is the Yasuo pickup. Diana's still fine on her own, but she does enable the Yasuo pickup here. And that's why it's scary. That combo just does so much damage in the span of 0.5 seconds. Gotta respect it at all times. An R flash from a Diana will just mean the Yasuo's coming flying at you from nano speed. It's just crazy. But the Xin Zhao, also a tier 1 jungler, going to be picked up here from VGA. Definitely still one of the strongest picks, one of the strongest junglers, and will win that duel. In the 1v1, it's more so the 2v2 that's really strong from Diana Yasuo. That's what you have to worry about. And Diana's team fight, I feel, is a lot stronger when it comes to damage-wise. It's very AoE, not super single target. Xin Zhao, though, has great engage. But thank you for the Gurf Hogger. I love it. I love it. I love it.
The donger. Let's go.
The donger. Raise your dongs, everyone. Gotta raise it. Don't know if it's going to be locked in. It's going to be the Thresh.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandably so, right? That's such a great support. It's just very versatile. Works with so many different comps. No surprise they're coming out from VGA. Gonna be curious to see how they can pilot that. And now Clover, maybe we're about to feel you're hovering. At this point, man, I've been baited so many times. I'm not calling anything until I see them lock in.
Not allowed. So they are going to deny the Aphelios Thresh combo that we do see a lot of players going for, or a lot of teams going for. It is going to be the Nautilus, though, locked in for Clover, putting that heavy engage look angle there on that side. But ooh, that's interesting. This is gonna be, oh no, there we go. That's the Jinx. Yep. It's pretty standard. Before Zeri was live, it was usually just Jinx Aphelios trade every single game if Caitlyn was not on the table, and usually she was not. So Jinx Aphelios, pretty standard bot lanes here. Emphasis on engage, though, on both sides. The Thresh there does have a few more options to play through, not as locked in as the Nautilus. And I think Thresh is, like you said, one of the most versatile supports in the game, can be played in many different styles, very safe, enables very mobile carries to play like madmen. But LeBlanc going to be taken off the table away from Clover. Don't want Young being on that one. If I am going to take a look at the rosters, it is still the same rosters for both sides, so Zeka not playing this game. Still going to be Wang Nooney, and Wang Nooney definitely was able to do something up in that top side, apart from that solo kill that happened early on. He didn't know how the spikes worked and was playing that lane pretty well, was winning out on trades after that one little mishap there. Unfortunately, though, Set just doesn't scale nearly as well as a Gwen.
Yeah, absolutely. We do see Clover taking Ahri as well out of the hands of VG, understandably so as well. I mean, they did a lot of work, to say the absolute least. I will say, though, from the side of Clover, it's going to be interesting to see Limit Tester piloting the Nautilus. He's like, yo, I'm going to do what you did, Hogster, but I'm going to do it even better. So I'm curious to see if he's going to pop off with that. But we do have the Kayn being hovered. See, that's why I'm not calling it no more.
Never.
I'm getting baited. They
Always.
will lock the victor. They will lock the victor for the side of VG.
Just a standard mid laner. Just a standard mid laner. Not the strongest lane phase. Also not great in a 2v2. Especially early game, but scales like a monster. You know, we've seen double up at Worlds. We've seen every ADC just get completely one-tapped by the Victor. Laser Q, you're just dead. Doesn't matter. You're gone. But we'll see what the answer here is from Clover. Are they going to opt for the Yasuo and enable that? Oh, it's going to be the Vex. And I don't know how I feel about that, though. When you're picking a champion like Diana, you really want her to be sole AP. So the fact that your mid lane and jungle duo is going to be both AP, this Victor can just spec into MR. Oh, but the Tryndamere, that's the Camille counter right there.
Lord.
That is the Camille counter, and that is why you cannot blind Camille.
Oh my god, dude! If he locks it, I'm leaving, bro. I hate Trindamir. So thank you. At least they're gonna
Okay, it's
do
the
that.
Shen.
It's
Shen
gonna
is
whip out
pretty
the
solid
Shen.
too.
Yeah,
Shen is
but
very solid.
absolutely. But it is also you got to realize like how dangerous that combo is gonna be with Shen and the Xin Zhao as well. Stand united onto the Xin Zhao, bro. That's gonna do so much. That huge shield coming out, allowing Xin to just get into the back lane here. And as we know, Aphelios, one of the more immobile ADCs of this game, is gonna have a bit of a hard time when it comes to kind of getting away from that. So we are gonna have to see how things go. I would honestly love to see from the Vex ult coming out, right, and then Xin Zhao popping the Crescent Guard and knocking him away. If that's like one of those 1 in a million things you see like on YouTube with like 20,000 views, because it's just so epic and it never happens.
Unfortunately not there though, but you know, Aphelios obviously is going to go with the Gale Force. Every single AD carry in the universe is going Gale Force if they're not like trolling. Just don't go Kraken, just go Gale Force. Please go Gale Force. It is so much better in every way. Kraken, sure, your DPS numbers are great, but you have more kill pressure with Gale Force. You also have more defensive options. It's just super versatile. That's the reason why everyone was going Shield Bow, then that item got nerfed, so people are going Gale Force. And I mean, I definitely think Gale Force is definitely the strongest out of the 3 options right now, unless you're certain champions, but I still think even then, the Gale Force just provides a lot more utility and allows you to be more mobile, especially on champs like that Aphelios. But the Nautilus here, definitely a good look. If they are able to find those catches on the Victor and the Jinx, that's definitely something to look for. But that Shen shield is just huge, especially with the changes that were made just, I believe, right before the preseason, right around the tail end of Season 11. That's when the shield started scaling off of max HP as well, instead of just pure ability power. So that feels really good for the Shen. He's going to be building a lot of HP. And he also does a lot of damage on his own. His base numbers have to be high, otherwise he would feel really bad because his ultimate does not help him in any way in fights.
I will ask you though, do you feel like maybe the Vex pick coming out was a bit of a missed opportunity to have someone like, for example, like Yasuo, who can kind of compare much better with the ultimate coming out from Nautilus and as well as from Diana? Or do you think that that was kind of necessary to round out the comp and we'll end up seeing that do actually incredibly well?
If you're going to go an AP mid laner, you might as well just go Galio with that. With the combo Galio, Diana, Camille, I mean, I think that Galio is really good. You have enough damage with Camille, Aphelios, Diana. You don't really need to have a high damage mid. But Vex, I mean, it does provide a lot of long range in engage, but her lane phase is where she's weakest. And especially up against a champ like Victor, who has a weak lane phase, Victor just scales better. So I really think you want to go with the Galio, who has a stronger lane phase. His base numbers are really high, and he provides a lot of utility for your team when you have a lot of damage built in already.
Okay, so we're definitely gonna have to keep our eyes on that and see how that ends up working out. I will say though, Aphelios and Nautilus going into Thresh and Jinx. How do you feel about that matchup, man? Who do you think's coming out on top?
I mean, I definitely think that Thresh is really strong level 1. But once Nautilus does get those levels rolling, that's when he starts taking off. He definitely scales better as an engaged champion. That's just how it works. But Thresh has so much versatility, like we said earlier. He can make Jinx play like a madman. The Lantern is just one of the most powerful abilities in the game, and a lot of Thresh players are maxing that second, so this Jinx can just play crazy for most of the team fight. Just back away with a Lantern unless you have those pink wards ready for you. It's going to be something here, but it's very interesting how this bot matchup's going to work. Aphelios and Jinx. Aphelios has a strong lane phase because he starts off red-green. He has the range. He has the sustain. Jinx's lane phase is nothing to write home about. It's pretty weak overall, but she feels a lot better on 2 items than Aphelios does. And please do not build Collector here. She, her, please. That's the one ask I have. Collector is a no bueno here. It's no bueno in general. That item is terrible. Don't
Collector gaming, let's go.
Big numbers, let's go. Big numbers. That's why you buy Collector. But
exactly.
It's
just so satisfying, man.
It's very satisfying. But you're into a Xin Zhao who's going to be building most likely a Death Stance here. It's super high value. Shen's going to be building at least. I definitely think he can build a Randuin's Omen. I think that looks very strong. He could also build a Thornmail. So this Shen, no one's going to be able to pop through him if it's not for the Camille. Aphelios, I think he can either go for the Lord Dom second or even the Bloodthirst or Eye Edge. He can go either of those builds there. I just think that having Sustain here is going to be really, really strong, especially when the longest range poke on either team is going to be that Victor laser. He's going to be able to pop that over walls and stuff like that. The initial range isn't long, but it's the little proc afterwards that does a lot of that has a lot of range there. And if Aphelios is just able to sustain and make sure he's healthy as these fights do break out, that's definitely what you want to see here. You need him to be healthy. He needs to be that backline while his front line dives forward, and he needs to be strong while they trade backlines. I think that's what both sides really want to do with a Xin Zhao Shen. Xin Zhao just doesn't have the peel. So if they trade backlines, I think that's definitely ideal here, because the backline of VGA is definitely stronger. So we'll see how they do play this out, though.
I was asked if you were, let's say, here in Last But shoes, right? Do you think you're better off kind of prioritizing maybe going up into the top to help out Wang Nooney early, or do you rather want to send it kind of to the bot lane and have her kind of get fed once again and maybe see him kind of pop off like we saw in that last game? How you feeling about that?
I would say you'd play either towards mid or bot. Vex has a weak lane phase. You do have to defend it, but Diana's not that great at defending ganks, especially against the Xin Zhao, but the Victor doesn't really have all that much lane pressure either. So it's also hard to gank a Jinx too. So there's really not too many options for Laspa to look at. Honestly, I just want him to be there for counter and to look to farm up to just get a CS lane. Diana farms really well. It's not that much of an ask to hope a Diana gets a CS lead. That's all you need to do here. Just get a farm lead, become strong, and hope the enemy team doesn't build MR.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you heard it here first. We're going to see if Last But will be following that three-step plan that Salt just laid out for him. Only way to see that, though, is to get into the game itself. So we'll throw it to a quick break, and then when we're back, we'll be on the Rift for Game 2. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that, bro. Don't even touch that mouse, bro. You know you don't want to. We'll be right back. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the Rift for Game 2, and now, so we are seeing that kind of like aggressive invade that we were talking about that we were missing in that first game. We do have the 5-man Roman in the bot lane. This is actually a bit interesting, Roman. It looks like they were actually trying to maybe catch out the bot. I don't really know what they're trying to do there.
I guess they were hoping that maybe one of them walked to lane just to keep those brushes.
Okie fingers on the trigger, please. Yeah, we'll have to flash to get out of that one. He's probably like taking a sip or like eating some chips there. And then he just sees Limit Tester pop up in his field. He's like, just starts spamming that D key. Just barely going to skip down. But that is flashed down already. So that's huge.
One thing to note, though, if you see the pings coming in from chat, Hawkster actually thinks that the Nautilus used flash for that.
Oh, what? Okay,
That's
so
going to be scary. If they
yeah.
have that timer wrong, that's going to feel so bad when the Nautilus uses that flash. But good vision gained by the side of VGA as well. They do know where this Diana's starting. Wants to start that blue, get the level 3 on her third camp. Definitely something to look at here. But neither of these mid laners have super strong presence in lane.
Let me test her. Judge line is going to connect. A little bit of damage coming on Loki Dosi. Her doing quite a bit of damage, but Loki Dosi showing no fear, dude. He's like, go ahead. Dish as much damage as you want, bro. I'm going to just keep shooting.
And I mean, that's the thing with Jinx. She likes to ramp up as these fights do go on, get that lethal tempo going. Aphelios, though, has to press the attack, and those procs are going to help out quite a bit.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of that burst damage is going to come from. Exposure hurts quite a bit. Aphelios,
dude.
Strong laner. Definitely something Jinx does not have in her wheelhouse, though, so I'm expecting that She-Her is going to have a great time in lane. Does have that mid-game trough, though, like the Caitlyn. That's the one thing about Aphelios and Caitlyn, they're very similar in that respect. They need to hit 3 items to be strong, whereas Jinx can make things happen on 2. Although she is strongest at 3 as well.
Indeed. Now we do see that ward actually went down from VGA. We're gonna have to hold on to that for a second because Wang Nooney being taken pretty low here. Number 2 Ginger showing that even if he doesn't have some like really heavy damage champ like said, he still does quite a bit of damage. Like I was saying though, they did have that ward in that top part of the jungle actually on Clover's side, so they were able to track the Diana quite well actually. That's always very nice to see. And now looking to go in here, but that passive shield is huge. A very nice flash coming out from Hawkster though with the lantern to follow up with Captor. They can't get the Chompers are gonna heal though, so that is gonna be heal down from She-Her to make sure that he doesn't go down, and neither does Limit Tester. So that's double sums out on She-Her now.
Oh, the hook shot barely gets Wang Nooney out of that one there. But that's the power of Shen. His lane phase is so strong, and Camille's lane phase is so weak. Oh,
Hex Flash. Very nice. Hook as well onto Hawkster. It's going to stun him, but not quite going to be enough. A little bit of damage coming out. Limit Tester is just turned into one of those bush Nautiluses, man. Those are the words, bro. It's just like, they're in one of the 3, right? You have a 1 in 3 chance, and you know that dredge line's coming out.
It's 2 and 3 now. You have that ward there. You have the ward. It's something there. But Wang Nooney is forced to burn that teleport. Only comes back with refillable. That feels really bad. Also, only 8 CS to their name. Not ideal. Not ideal whatsoever.
It is ideal, though. We might just see the gank coming up from last, but does hit the Crescent Strike? Is he going to dash in, though? Nah, opts not to dash in because the dredge line did not connect. Will instead just back off, but that did bait Captor to come down. Maybe we see one of those long con ganks coming up from Captor. We do see he's going to be, clearing vision. Will maybe get spotted out, so nothing quite gonna come out of that. Instead, gonna opt to back. Oh, that hook just barely missing. That was some big brain hooks though coming up from Hawkster.
That's
always
a good
nice
looking
to
hook.
see. Indeed,
That
it is.
Is a beautiful hook there. We do see Aphelios sitting there on the blue and purple guns. Gonna just be chilling for the most part, but Young taking a bad trade here in the mid lane.
Indeed. It's getting bad and getting worse, but the Winions are doing a lot of damage to Champagne Fan. Fortunately, the Q will miss, so not as much damage coming out, but at least you won't go out of this one completely empty-handed if you're Young.
Ooh.
Taunt, but just gets take that one turret shot, which will make, unfortunately, number 2 Ginger kind of lose that trade. Hate to see it. Tower OP, please nerf.
Tower's a little bit too strong here, but Ginger is going to be basing here with 32 CS. Definitely going to have a big item advantage coming through. Yep. Those components feel so good. Yeah. Oh, that feels amazing there. Camille just sitting on that refillable. She is not having a good time in this lane, and that's just the power of Shen. Just a great counter. You can completely block every little bit of Camille's damage with your Shroud there, with the Twilight Shroud. It just does so much. It's so scary. I think that's the right ability. Is that? Spear's Refuge. No, that's a Collie's. Twilight Shroud is a Collie's. Nope. Unfortunate, but... yeah, the Spear's Refuge just does so much. You can block that Q2 from Camille, which is so important. That's where she does her damage, and if you can block that one auto in a trade, you just win it.
Yeah, just a dash coming in. A lot of damage from number 2 Ginger coming out, and then he just gets back out like it was absolutely nothing. Love to see it. Wang Nooney, like you're saying, probably not having much fun of a time. Is holding on to that biscuit, bro. He's just like, I don't want to have to chomp down on this one too, but sooner or later you might have to if this keeps on going. That being said, though, we do see Laspa looking to move up, but I don't think they're going to get much out of this one. They get the stun. Hextech Ultimatum did come out. Number 2 Ginger can't quite escape. Is he going to go down, though? No, sir, he will not, because he is, in fact, going to drop that. But Hawkster might just get dropped here if he's not careful. He will hook in the minion, just barely missing the mark. And overall, nothing quite going to come out of either one of those engagements. Actually, hold up, though. Captor, he's like, don't flip the script just yet. But a very nice Dreadslide comes in. First blood coming out. The double kill as well. And Captor will be the last man standing. He does get the kill on to she, her. Won't be able to get Limit Tester, unfortunately. But overall, at least that is going to be a 2-for-1.
Aphelios lane phase, baby. That's just what it is. That champ is just so strong. And I'm going to go check here what guns. Did he roll a red? No, he didn't even have red. He was just able to output so much damage. That's the power of press the attack. Sure, the exhaust removes 40% of your damage, but the exposed effect allows you to deal 12% more. So, hey, it's definitely not that full exhaust effect, but that extra little bit of damage is what allowed him to get that double bit of damage there. And all that AoE coming in from Blue Gun was insane. The flamethrower just popping both the Nautilus and the Jinx at the same time. And the slows too. That little bit of burst of damage from the Gravitum Q does a little bit of damage. It's a little scary. You gotta respect it.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta respect it. And they've learned that the hard way, unfortunately, with that double kill going into the hands of she, her. Once again, looking to pop off. Very nice max hook dredge line. They're coming out. Hawkster needs to be careful. Stand United gonna get popped on him to get him out of this one. But no, he did get taunted. Almost goes in and dies, but now it's just a full-blown team fight. A 1-for-1 trade. About to make that a 2-for-1 for the side of VGA here. Looking to hunt down Limit Tester. Oh, a very nice fear, though, from Young is gonna keep Limit Tester alive. Is going to go ahead and back off. That was a close one, to say the least.
That's the power of Shen. You know, it's looking like a winning team fight, but the lower you are, the bigger the shield is, and Thresh is already somewhat tanky innately. So the Shen just shows up there as the Thresh survives for just long enough to allow that Shen to show up, get that taunt off, and instantly pop the Aphelios. That's where a lot of their gold is, and the fact that he died again, not the greatest, and the Jinx gets to shove this entire wave, not get the plate, unfortunately, but she gets to get a good base off here.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm curious if we're going to maybe see them take the dragon. No, they're going to opt to not take that dragon. Instead, get some bases off, most likely get some more items in there before they set up for this next fight here. Overall, it might just be, this is something I like to term kind of a chill time. So it's like nothing really going to be going down here until we kind of see maybe a little contest going on for that dragon. A lot of damage coming out there from Wang Nooney. He's like, I will be not chilling whatsoever. I'm looking for blood. Is going to get a little bit spilled from number 2 Ginger, but not enough.
And it was that roam there that allowed Wang Nooney to catch up in CS. See, they are literally even. They have both have that little bit of CS, and actually Wang Nooney's 300 gold ahead if you take a look at the gold charts there. So that's definitely something to look at here. Probably got, it's the cannons that they missed out on. Ginger was not there. Hook lands.
Okay, Limit Tester not looking to miss out on this kill, and Hawkster, though, does get the hook, but not quite anything going to come out of it. The choppers did go down, did not want to get stunned, so they instead went ahead and just backed off. Better safe than sorry.
Definitely better safe than sorry here. This Vex, though, is having a pretty solid time in this lane here.
Shadow Surge coming out, does connect, but the flash from Chepanya fan. He's like, no, sir. That will be the flash burnt for the ult. So, you know what? It's not the end of the world. Number 2 Ginger taking a lot of damage, but now he's looking at dashing. He knows that Q is on cooldown, should I say. Oh my god, just gonna drop down the block. No damage gonna come out from Wang Nooney. And speaking of damage, though, the side of VGA is looking to do damage to this dragon, but they will have to fight if they want to do that. Yeah, there's Limit Tester, man, just no fear. Young moving in as well. Unfortunately, doesn't have that Shadow Surge, so won't be able to make as much happen. But Laps is like, you know what, let's just do this, boys. We got this. Gonna go ahead and try and get this dragon done. Yeah, it does have White Gun. VGA looking for an opening to get in. They're going to pop down the turret. Little sentry gun going down. Jinx ultimate comes out. Not going to steal that drag, though. The drag will still go into the hands of Laspa.
And green white guns are really good for these objective fights. Green allows you to poke from a decent range away. White gun just allows you to shred at the Baron, Dragon, be it whatever. But great hook.
Crescent Guard does come out, able to push away. Flash it at the come up from, I believe, Wang Nooney. Now they're looking to turn the tides of the fight. Gonna go in. The Diana ultimate coming out, doing a lot of damage, but it's not gonna be enough. They will pick up at least a kill on Capture, but it will be a 2-for-1. Oh, no, just 2-for-1 there.
Just a 2-for-1, but the shutdown goes exactly where you want it to. She, her picks up another shutdown, having a solid time here, and they might be able to grab this plate here. The Victor just doesn't have the wave clear just yet. Hawkster is a little low here, a little scary.
That was a close one. Okay, that was not a close one, though, because that was connected. Very nicely done. Champagne fan gonna go down. Hawkster goes gold, but where do you go when it's over? You flash out of there. Nope, never mind. You do not flash out of there because Young is like, you are not escaping this one. You're going into the ground.
Down in the grave. Back to the lantern for you, Hawkster. Great plays coming out. They knew that they were both solo. They were in lethal, and it's just a greedy over... Oh, hookshot does not hit the
no,
tower. There's a thumbs up. Yep.
Hits him with the taunt. Oh my
There's a thumbs
god.
up. Love to see it. Love to see it. But they were in lethal. Thresh was like 300 life. Victor maybe 500, and Thresh has more resistances. So there's just no reason to stay there. You just gotta back off.
Yeah.
You cannot defend that. You should not be defending one plate. You should just be backing off. Maybe just try and stay in XP range. You cannot be there, especially up against an Aphelios who did, I believe, have purple gun at the time too. So you are just going to get slowed by a single auto. Uh-oh. Nah, don't think too much is going to happen here, but you cannot walk up there.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, at this point, you never know with these top laners when they're going to go in for those aggressive trades and when they're just going to dip out. So, you know, it is what it is. Just looking to get some more farm going. We're back to certified chill time at the moment. Never mind, though, because in that mid lane, lot going down. Champagne fan, goodbye, good night. You're done here. Captor just gets stuck in the gravity field. Young, incredibly low, but Captor knows he needs to back off right about now. Never mind, he does go in, though. Pop that crescent guard, but he does get cleared, and so he's not going to get the kill on last, but instead might just get killed himself. But Hawkster, can he hold them off? It looks like he just barely will be able to. Gonna hook in Limit Tester, actually. About to test his limits under turret, but Limit Tester just gonna walk back. He's like, I'm tanky. This don't mean nothing to me.
Yep, definitely doesn't mean all that much there. Victor is going to be showing up pretty soon after that death there, but a lot of gold going in the back pockets of last. But oh,
ooh, a lot of damage too, because her taking the kill on Loki Dosi. He's like, your turret means nothing to me, good sir.
that's the power Gale Force. That is why you go with that item every game. You can just Gale Force forward. That's a good chunk of damage right now, especially with the AD Aphelios has. Aphelios will have more AD than most champions, apart from maybe a Jhin or other AD carries at the very least, because he can just scale everything into that Q or the attack damage upgrade. And right now, yes, it's doing 230 damage already. We'll see what the Jinx will have when she finishes hers, but that's exactly what you want to see. He has the kill pressure. He had red-white guns. This Jinx should not have been walking up. She should have just given that wave.
Yeah. Instead, she will be given over the 300 gold into the hands of her, who is already sitting at a very pretty 5.8k in total. I believe the most gold in the game, actually. And to no surprise, getting a lot of those shutdowns, going 4-2, and just getting some stellar kills.
Her opting for the Bloodthirster. I like it. It's no Lord Bombs, but at this point, I think the sustain's going to be very important there. You saw what happened in that one fight when he did get caught out. So having that extra Bloodthirster shield plus maybe a Red Gun shield at the time, you're just getting an effective 400 to 500 HP just from shields alone.
Yeah, I do love to see it. And so, oh wow, already a lot of damage coming up. But in that mid lane, Shadow Surge does connect the Champagne fan. Stand united, but you will not be. Oh, he will indeed still be standing. Gonna hook Limit Tester instead. Will he go down though? He's tanking everything. He will go down. A heroic sacrifice, though not really sacrificing himself for any cause. He just goes down because there's no one there to back him up.
There's too many shields. The Lantern, the Stand United, just keeping Champagne alive. And, oh, that is exactly what you want to see. That's why you play Shen. But, I mean, how much is that shield going to matter when you see items like Shadow Flame coming out? I'm definitely not going to be seeing any Serpent's Fangs here. At the very least, don't think that's going to happen. But the Shadow Flame just gives you so much M-Pen that you can easily pop that shield. Especially if the target does not have that much MR to begin with. Uh-oh, big fight.
They're looking to pop the one and only. Okay, Hex Ultimate coming out, followed up by the Dan Ultimate. That's a nice combo to see. But the Jinx Ultimate will take out Laspa. Hawkster, my man cannot keep getting away with this, bro. He gets out once again. He's so low. Oh, they're not even done yet. Hook connecting with Champagne fan. Gets followed up by the ultimate, and he gets taken out. The green gun, her does too much damage.
Too much damage coming in. This Aphelios is online. Almost finished up that second item here. And he's having a great time. Great showing here in game number 2. Definitely looking like an even series coming through. And they're going to claim up the second dragon here. And already be 2 up on the board.
Yeah, absolutely. Her is looking to make up for the loss of that last game. He's like, yeah, I had it in the bag. I fumbled the bag. I'm not fumbling it this time. This time, I'm going all out. And he's indeed going all out, sitting on a very nice 5-2. Probably going to hit that back sooner or later as well. Maybe going to grab one of these camps is what we'll have to see. And sooner or later, once he gets that Bloodthirster, he's just going to be more of a menace.
Definitely. And overall, it's just great looks coming in from Her, finding some great advantages in lane, and that's what we talked about last time. Her was able to always find advantages in lane, just get really strong through mechanical play all on their own, with sometimes Limit Tester being there, sometimes not, but it's just a really strong AD carry here from Her. That is why they are Grandmaster.
Indeed, indeed. I'm a little jealous. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm trying to be GM. Damn, coach me, please teach me a little bit. Tell me
Teach
what
me
you
your
got.
ways. Help me.
Indeed. I will say though, once again, last, but there's just always a control word in that damn bush, bro. Number 2 Ginger is just never gonna get ganked, bro. He's like, no,
Mhm.
I will have vision here. At least if this game goes 20 minutes, he's gonna have vision there for 17, bro, because he will not ever not have vision in that bush. Speaking of that, though, they will get vision on this Rift Herald that is currently being taken by Laspa and Young. I don't think there's not really any contest gonna be for it. They're just gonna go ahead and most likely let them have it. The Diana just it does still do a lot of damage. You got to respect it. And as well as the 3. Oh,
Ooh.
the Super Mega Death Rocket does come out, but a little too late and will not be able to steal the Rift Herald. It will go into the hands of Laspa.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Very nice Everfrost combo, though. Spirit's Refuge will like a little bit of damage, but other than that, not much going to come out of that one.
That
Young
guy
realizing,
takes damage.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Young realizing, damn, this dude might be a little too big even for me. And is going to go ahead and pop the crown. And now Laspa does need to be careful. Is in a bit of a bad spot. Rift Herald will crash into that turret. Just barely. Not quite enough damage to take it out. But that turret's still standing as if, dude. One more minion. Let's go. The minion. The caster minion. He's the real MVP of this game.
The hero. That's the real hero.
Oh my God, bro. He's going to be celebrated. He may not have lived to tell the tale, but he will live in our hearts.
Mm-hmm. Definitely going to be having a solid time here. He's going to be remembered going down in history books here of Victoris.
Well, so will Champagne. If he's not careful, he'll be going down into the obituary because that was a lot of damage coming up from Nooney. Fortunately, can't quite follow things up. It's just Champagne is just a bit too mobile for him to handle.
A lot of move speed coming in from the Q. I want to check the upgrades that he does have so far. It is only going to be... I can't actually check, which is really unfortunate. But Eagle upgrade. That is Eagle upgrade for sure.
Yeah.
Find out the rest. But I mean, we just see rotations here on this bot side. Both teams really want to be here. Dragon up in just a little bit. They want to defend these solo laners here because both of them are going to be the big split pushing threats on either side. The Victor can side lane really well. Has amazing wave click and push waves instantly. Yeah. Wang Nooney has great mobility. Also has great kill pressure on anyone who is in Shen.
Yeah, that is fair indeed. Gonna have to see how they end up playing that out. Like you were saying, Drag is up in 150, so a little bit of time still to get things set up. Maybe get a pick here or there. We will have to see how either team wants to act. So far, though, it's really just kind of, applying pressure to these lanes, pushing those waves out here for the side of Clover, who are looking to make a triumphant return. They took L in that first round. They're like, damn, that's not cool. We don't like that. That's not happening again.
Nope. And, so far, it's just a lot of chillin' here coming in for the next little bit.
It's chill time, bro.
It's Dragon. Yep, chill time. Dragon's up in a little bit here, but a natural 30 CS lead coming in for the side of she, her against their lane partner. So, also 5 kills in the name. That is definitely something to witness here. And I think there were like 2 solo kills too. So Loki Dosey just not having a great time on this Jinx. And as building, Champagne.
Champagne fan, but also not have a very good time. Did prop the crown. Stand United will come down, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Gonna go down. Young didn't even need to hit the Shadow Surge. Already went down before that, and there's that pick that they need. This should be a pretty easy Dragon take for them. 46 seconds left on the clock. Gonna go ahead and grab that turret as well. Maybe get a killer on Captor if they can make something happen. Not sure if they will. Limit Tester gonna root Hawkster. Oh, he's gonna flash away, but the ultimate does come out on Captor. Gonna hit that pressing guard, but it doesn't even matter. Their first teammate goes down, and now Captor about to be eliminated as well. Can't leave the zone because of the Hextech ultimatum. Gonna go gold, but can you escape when it's over? He will flash it, just barely escaping. Now they might just turn the tide. Never mind, they will not. Too much damage coming up from Young. Too much damage coming up from she, her, and they will get yet another kill. That is 3-0. Dragon is up in 15 seconds as well. Things are not looking good for VGA right now.
Ginger being a little bit of a baiter there. Uses that Stand United to get in onto Captor after the fight was already lost. Dashes in, tries to get something to happen, and baits Loki. Try to go and try to help his boy out, and is forced to run away. A good thing Loki didn't burn any summoners because that would have been pretty sad. But Ginger also had to burn his sums. At least he lives to see another day. Lives to fight a little bit longer, but that was a little greedy. That was very greedy there. You're sitting on one item. A little bit. A
little bit of a bozo moment, not gonna lie there, but it is what it is. Hawkster, man, he's a menace. I guess he was expecting Laspa to go to the right. Not really sure. Maybe he just kind of misclicked there, but Laspa is gonna get away from that one. And things, yeah. I mean, if you're VGA right now, what do we got to do, bro? Like, what do we do? What's the game plan?
Try and get some gold into your Jinx here. She's gonna, like you said earlier, the main consistent source of damage coming through, and it is looking like she is going for. It could either be rapid fire Runons based on the build path here. A lot of Jinxes are opting for the rapid fire just so they have that extra little bit of range, and she is gonna be the longest range champion here if she does finish that rapid fire second. But where's the damage coming from then? That build is very low damage, which is very unfortunate there. We'll see what happens though, but this Victor on that crown as well. Again, not super high damage either, so the carries coming in just aren't really that strong. So they really need to just try and turtle, give up tier 1s, give up tier 2s, just try and get some gold. They scale really well. They're a double backline threat comp, whereas the she/her is purely their only backliner on the side of CR, but the dive comp just does so much damage in an instant, and I don't know if one exhaust is enough.
Yeah, number 2 Ginger trying to scare up Wang Nuni. And speaking of, we might have to hold on to that because there's the Spirit Refuge. Gonna block a lot of damage, but I don't think it'll be enough. Once again, just another trade. At this point, man, just get a room. They're not really trying to kill each other, bro. They're just like, they're play fighting, bro. It's like they're just insulting each other, but secretly they like each other, man. I swear. But that being said, though, they're just chilling. We were talking about carries not doing as much damage, right? Are they really? They're really gonna make me wait again. Gonna pop the Crested Strike and just a clutch lantern comes out as well. That is the ultimate down from Captor. Let me see if I can get my point out this time. Let's see. Like we were saying though, carries not doing as much damage, right? Captor, even though he's 4-1, normally when you see like a 4-1 Xin Zhao, that's dangerous. But then you run into the 7-2 Aphelios and the 404 Vex here, and they're gonna run into Hawkster and they're gonna take him out. They're gonna get the kill on that. Shadow Surge coming out, just barely going to miss Loki Dosi. And I mean, once again, the top laners not killing each other. Really nothing new there.
Not much gonna happen. Not a single sunburn there on the top side here. But they are gonna try and converge here. And what are they gonna get the Camille? I mean, there's not even a shutdown. Is that really worth? Is that what you want to do here? I don't think that's the play.
You might get Camille, but at what cost? That's right, you will be losing out on Baron. Oh, the rocket! No way, Limit Tester moving into the way just barely in time. It is gonna block the Super Mega Death Rocket, and so the Baron will go into the hands of Clover. But that was still really nice to see.
That was a great play there from Clover. They can send Wang Nuni down there. They know that at the very least they're going to have to burn a couple flashes to even try and kill Wang Nuni, especially with the hook shot. Camille is just so mobile, so they just send her down to split push, either had the TP up or almost had it available, and they can just burst that Baron instantly. Even when they see the Xin Zhao, I don't think it really matters. Can they really make a steal attempt happen, especially after him getting chunked out, having to burn that Crescent Guard? Something to think about there. But now they have the Baron, now they're dressed in purple, and they can just run down the map. They can just either 1-3-1, 1-4, either or. They can just run through, make things happen, try and get these tier 2s down. That's a lot of standing gold available to them. Sure, the other team has objective bounties, but they're just down so much gold, 9k, and oh, something's happening here.
Oh, indeed. Let's see. Yeah, it's just number 2 Ginger gonna go ahead and taunt and just dash out of there. Nothing really gonna go down there. And I mean, you kind of see that because it's like he's still 0-4, right?
It's a hull breaker angle again. Love to see it every game, I guess.
Hull breaker angle every single day. And now we do see, I'm just noticing, we did see that rapid fire cannon coming out from the Jinx, but it's like we were talking about, right? That's still a pretty low damage build. And right now, you need some damage dealers. It's like,
you just need to go blast can, and you need to try and make something happen here.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, though, both these builds from the carries just don't do anything. Gale Force Rapid Fire, you're not ahead. You don't have a BF sword sitting there. And on Victor, you have Crown and Zhonya's. You do no damage.
Yeah, that's true. But, it does do quite a bit of damage. Maybe Captor. Never mind. Because Laspa gonna go gold. Can he escape it then when it's over? Yes, he will. Gonna dash out of there. And now the Shadow Surge. So much damage coming out. Gonna get 2. Looking to get 3 on Captor. They get Captor as well. He gets capped, dare I say. And just like that, that's a very nice 3-for-0. And they're just going to dip back out of the base and just bring the minions in to do their dirty work. That's right. They'll just tank the turret for him. Going to get that tier 3 down. Gonna look to get that inhibitor as well. Grab that. Maybe we'll see them push for even more here. Death timers are pretty damn high, so maybe we just see an end if they can get one more pick.
Maybe an end angle.
Yeah, it might. Oh no, the flash hook not quite gonna connect. Neither will the hook shot. But Nexus turret 1 goes down. Looking to get Nexus turret 2. She, her. The range and the damage that comes out just so much. There we go. There's the dredge line and just obliterated. I mean, Chafanya fan is gone, bro. You're Death fan at this point. Hawkster, he will go down as well. Laspa will not go down, and game 2 goes into the hands of Clover.
And, I mean, Clover just had a good game overall. Sure, top lane lost a little bit, but that roam from Shen looked really, really good. Unfortunately, it did allow the Camille to get strong, get that gold rolling, and Aphelios just one lane really hard. What more can you say? Her just popped off here. Unfortunately, I can't really take a look at damage because the whole thing is bugged. Thank you, Riot Games. Love you. Love
Thanks,
you.
Riot.
Love you.
But honestly, I don't think we have to know that her was definitely dishing out quite a bit of damage with a very stellar 729 performance, right? 230 farm as well. That's what, like 40 farm above his counterpart in the bot lane of VGA. And just like that, Clover, man, they're showing that there's a reason they've gone undefeated as well. They're not just going to roll over and take that first L from VGA. They're like, no, sir, we're going to one-up you, and we're looking to win this thing. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if VGA can take things back. However, I think we'll save some of the analytical talk for the desk, and we're going to throw it to a quick break. And then when we're back, we'll get started. I mean, it'll be the beginning of the end when we get to game 3, which will be the final deciding game to see who takes the first L in this series. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. We are this is it, man. This is it, Salt. The beginning of the end, brother. Now both teams, last game. Both teams have shown us absolutely dominating performances in these past 2 games. Virtue Gaming Ambition grabbing game 1. Clover, they clap back in game 2. They're like, no, sir, you don't get to win this thing. We're just giving you a false sense of security. And now we have made it to game 3. Draft has gone underway. Once again, we're kind of seeing the same kind of bans going on. Does that surprise you at all, or not really?
Not at all. This time, though, the Diana going to be banned once again, but the Lee Singer locked in right away for Clover. Laspa's here for he's here for it. He wants to show off his mechanics this time, going in on the Lee Sin. You know, but we always see the Lee Sin mind control that happens. I hope it doesn't happen tonight, but, you know.
Oh, but we do see, okay, the Hecarim coming out, the speedy horse from VGA. They're looking to bring back what our boy did in the game 1 capture with those amazing all kind of engages that we saw coming out from him. I haven't locked it yet, so you know what? Okay. I think they will lock it, yeah? Man, they're trolling. Lock it in, bro. There we go. Okay. There we go. They were trolling me, not gonna lie.
They're hovering the rats.
They were stringing me on the right. Indeed. They're just gonna never mind. They're actually gonna lock it in with the Jhin once again. So maybe we're kind of gonna see the same comp that we saw in game 1 come out once again, minus the Gwen. Okay. We're gonna
is it the helicopter special? Is it the Rammus support? I mean, I feel like he's better now as a support too with the new ultimate. I mean, before he was good up until level 6, and then he stopped doing things.
Yeah, that's true. He kind of did stop doing. Man,
oh, they're running it back.
You're just trolling us at this point, bro. How are you gonna hover the okay man and then hit me with this? They will lock in the Zeri though, coming out here from Clover. So overall, the League Neon. So overall. Already, I feel like, never mind. We're not going to be seeing the same kind of thing because now they are hovering the Leona pick here, the side of Clover. It'll be interesting to see if they do. They do indeed lock it in. Okay. Leona with Zeri, how does that matchup normally feel? I haven't really gotten to play that one. You know anything about that?
I feel like Leona can proc her passive, or like Zeri can proc Leona's passive quite a bit. But the Ahri goes through once again, and VGA are happy to take that. Wasn't banned this time. It was definitely something to worry about there, but we'll see what happens in the next little bit here. Don't really know what they're thinking, but I mean, I really like the side of CR. They have a great late game carry in the Zeri. Lee Sin will help be that bridge through the early game, has good ganks, has great setup even in the late game, and Leona, always just a staple in the ball lane. It's been meta for like her entire existence. Sylas, though, going to be taken off the table once again. Definitely something to worry about. Yone, a great top laner, even a mid laner as well. Yone is just super strong. Nautilus, though, going to be taken off the table. And Jack's hover? I mean, I don't like it blind, but...
Yeah. Nah, gonna go out.
They're just going for the hovers. They're just going for the hovers.
At this point, it's like, I can't even call anymore. They just hover a bunch of champs. He's gonna start hovering like Gragas or something at this point.
Ooh, Jhin Karma.
There we go. So they are gonna think about the Karma going up against the Zeri and Leona. That's gonna be...
They hard win lane. There is no way they lose this lane at all. It is scientifically impossible that they lose this Jhin Karma lane into a Zeri Leona. There's no way.
Okay. They had me 30 different shades of confused when they were hovering the Sona Nami.
Is this the faker? Is this the faker 1v1 coming through? It is.
Okay.
Faker 1v1. LeBlanc and Ahri, 2 of Faker's most known champions, going to be locked in here for both sides. So it's going to be a matchup of the century here in the mid lane.
It's just getting more and more interesting as the draft goes on. Clover going to go ahead and most likely pick up the Camille once again.
I definitely think Camille is a better blind pick than the Set.
Yeah.
Set has a great lane. His scaling isn't super great. The Camille will scale. She will always do that damage, but she just has some worse matchups here. And that's the scary part about playing that Camille. You have to worry about champs like the Shen, like the Volibear, like the Tryndamere. And, I mean, Tryndamere fits really well with VGA's comp if they really want to go at. The Lowy's also kind of a counter, too.
The Gurf hover.
The Donger?
The Donger hover, I respect it.
Oh, the Vayne. That's cringe. But, I mean, if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. Ooh, Renekton's also one of those counters, too.
Oh, just pick a champ. There we go. Finally. He finally gets around. So they are going to take out the Renekton. Okay. This is one of those champs, though. I feel like it's if things don't go well in that early for you.
Oh, no, it's doomed. Spot. If Renekton doesn't make something happen in the lane phase, it's just crocodile for dinner. You're having some alligator, whatever, be it whatever.
We're in Australia, bro.
Yeah. Yep, that's what's happening. Outback, Renekton, anyone. But, I mean, Renekton's going to win this lane. Or he has to win this lane, rather. He's not going to, he has to. It is a must. If this Renekton does not win lane, he will win this lane. Okay, that's what's gonna happen here. That's what has to happen here for VGA. They have a good top jungle duo though. Hecarim, strong early, scales decently. Scales well with the tank build. I think he scales better with the tank build. Renekton does not scale, but is an early game monster. Will always be able to just heal his entire health bar unless he's ignited or something. Definitely something to worry about. And is also a good matchup into the Camille. That's something you have to keep in mind here. Camille does have bad matchups. That's why she's not the greatest blind pick. That's why Sett is a better blind. But Camille scales a lot better. And that's something you always have to keep in the back pocket. If the Camille gets to her 2 to 3 item spike, that's where she becomes scariest. That's when she starts coming online and... Oh. Lovely. When the Camille hits that big spike, when her Qs start doing 800 damage, that's when you gotta be worried. That's when you gotta be scared.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't really see that much coming up from Wang Nooney in that last game, unfortunately, which is kind of stuck in that, like, weird 1v1 limbo with number 2 Ginger on the Shen. So maybe this time around, now that it's going to be a much more aggressive kind of lane, since like you were saying, right, number 2 Ginger needs to absolutely win this lane. He doesn't need to, he will win this lane. Salt Spreader did maybe even write, did you write the script for today? That's why you're saying with such confidence. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But that being said, right, Wang Nooney really realizes that, right, if number 2 Ginger is going to get really aggressive, you either win this lane or you're just going to be absolutely put out of commission. And if you're, it's not like with the Shen, right, where it's like, even if he was kind of ahead, it's mainly that Stand United that he's so well known for. With Renekton, if you let him get ahead, you are in a world of hurt, to say the least.
We've seen Renekton one-shot carries. He has enough damage to kill. Actually, with the mage items giving HP on every single one for some reason, and Zeri also building triple HP items, will this Renekton actually be able to one-tap anyone? Unless he gets really far ahead. That's actually something crazy to think about. Every single mage item, or not every single, but a lot of the mage items got updated, and a lot of them have HP in their components now. And Zeri also is the only AD carry who builds like triple HP items. So that's something to think about here.
It's gonna be
Wait, Renekton's one thing that he had going for him, killing squishies, going to dive the backline. I mean, he's also known for that 1.5 second stun that is point and click.
That's true. That's disgusting.
So it is really disgusting. But the thing is, though, it's double AD. And the reason why you like to go Renekton is if you pick an AP jungler like the Nidalee, like the Talia, potentially the Gwen as well, Diana. Anything that forces the laner to have to choose which resistance to build feels really bad. And a lot of Korean or Chinese top laners are going Prowler's Claw, so they just have that easy initiate button. E into a minion, Prowler's Claw, stun, E again, get the double armor shred, the double exposure rolling, and you're just dead. Doesn't matter how many resistances you have. If you're getting your armor shredded in 3 different ways, if he goes press the attack, it can be 3 different ways. You are just going to get obliterated. There is nothing you can do.
Oh, yeah. And I also do feel like when it comes to the bot lane, right, we're kind of going to see, I feel like we'll get like a foreshadowing of how it's going to go in like the first 2 minutes of the match, really, because we know that Leon obviously loves to go in with that level 2, right? The moment you hit that, you should be kind of instantly, you spamming the send it button, right?
You can honestly just flash level 2 as soon as you get it. Just
exactly,
go for
right? But then you're going up against, in the bot lane, you got the Karma and Jin, right, who are going to,
so
hopefully, if they do their job right, poking out the Leona, getting her low enough so that she can't go in for that level 2, and that's going to kind of push them back to their turret. And then we're going to have to see in total, though, how that worked out. But just looking at it, who do you think's taking this game, man? Who's taking the win?
I think the order is wrong there for champions, but for the most part, though, wait, I don't really think that VGA have enough damage. Now that I look at their comps here, I don't think they have the damage.
Champagne, you gotta build Ludens this time around, brother. You gotta build it.
They have no consistent DPS. They have a Jhin, Burst, very backloaded damage as well. They have an Ahri, like pick champion as well. Renekton, also a pick champ or just a lane bully in general. Hecarim does scale decently, has enough damage in his kit. So they're really relying a whole lot on just getting a pick. But there's a huge amount of dive coming in for the side of Clover, and if they can either catch out the Jhin or the Ahri, that's what they have to look for. They have the tools for it. They have a Lee Sin, they have a LeBlanc. Lee Sin LeBlanc, known as one of those super strong 2v2 lanes.
Yeah.
But Hecarim is also really strong as well. I don't know how the Ahri fares into the LeBlanc. We haven't seen that matchup in a while. But I mean, if the Ahri is able to charm the LeBlanc out of the dash, again, Ahri's E or Ahri's Charm cancels every single dash. So if you're dashing, you get canceled, and you're kind of in a bad spot there because that's where all your damage comes from a lot.
Yeah.
You want to get that QW or QE. You want to get that detonated. You want to get that mark going. So if you can't get that going with the W, where a lot of your damage comes from, it's gonna feel really bad.
Yeah, definitely. I know. I mean, Champagne also, it really took him a while to kind of ramp up, especially like
It
in
was
that
a
first
ramp.
game. Yeah, like the moment we saw him whip out the Leandries, right? We were like, what is that? Like, what are you building? And I mean, respectively, not as much damage was coming out as you'd normally expect, right? And so it kind of really took a while for him to get into like a power position. That being said, I don't know if Champagne can really afford to kind of have that ramp up this time around again. Like, I feel like this time around really needs to be building a lot more damage since, like you were saying, they don't really have any consistent DPS. But that being said, I think the only way to figure out if it's going to work out is just get on the damn Rift itself. So we'll do a quick break. And when we're back, we'll be on the Rift for the final game, Game 3. It all comes down to this. If you leave this time around, I don't know what you're doing, bro. You're not human if you leave, bro. It's like, if you don't want to be out, you are not human. I'm sorry. So stick around. Don't go. You will not go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. And we'll be right back. And what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back for the final match of the night. Game 3, everything comes down to this. And once again, we're seeing a bit of an aggressive invader coming out from Clover. Let's see if this time around they can get a bit more than just a flash.
It is warded out, though. As you can see, if you take a quick look down there on the mini-map, it's going to be spotted the instant they walk up. Yep, there it is. They should be spotted right now. Yes, there they are.
Damn.
Now they know. It's just funny seeing Zeri just walk around in auto. The only champ in the game that can do that. Ah, yes, I am doing nothing, but I can auto attack. It is great.
Indeed. Again,
but no return vision on either side. Oh, we do see Renekton looking up on that top side, trying to get something, maybe get that ward. There it is. So they are going to know where this Lee Sin is starting. And it's going to actually be up on the top side. Very interesting from him.
Yeah, and honestly, that knowledge is so crucial because it's just such
Hmm.
a like it's so strong when you're able to kind of track the jungler, right? And just kind of
Yeah.
stay safe, really just basically make them useless almost when they can't get any ganks off, and then they really can just only farm. Not much that they can do. That
Especially
is
on a Lee
just so
Sin.
strong. Exactly. Who really wants to kind of get into those fights early on, utilize that really strong start that he has. That being said, we do see a double blue buff start here. So most likely last but gonna be kind of pathing down to this mid and bot lane while Captor might just be going top first, which I mean is to be expected, right? Number 2 Ginger, like we were saying, needs to absolutely win this lane if he doesn't want to be irrelevant. A lot of damage coming out from Champagne fan.
I like that W start there. That's actually a really good trading pattern coming through. As if some of you in chat don't know how the REW works, it doesn't really target anything, or it just targets randomly until you auto attack. So if you do auto attack a champion, every single orb will go towards that one champ, or one target rather. So it could be a minion, anything like that. That's how the W works. So it's really good for early trading instead of going that Q, and it's also a lot less mana, I believe, than the Q. The Q is quite hefty in that mana cost early. 60 mana and ramps up too. Not ideal there, but yeah, the W is 30 mana. It's pretty good. Really easy trades. Not too long of a cooldown either.
And that was abilities with Professor Assault. But hold up, hold up. A lot of damage coming out onto Champagne fan. Young able to dash out is going to bait out the clone, though, passive. So that being down, definitely going to make Champagne's fan life a whole lot easier when it comes to singling out the correct target. And we do see, like we were talking about, right, that level 2 has been hit, but her is getting pretty low. They've been doing a pretty good job of kind of poking them out. So no engage. And the wave is also just in a terrible state for Clover. So they won't be able to do that level 2 engage.
Definitely not there. Wave not looking good at all, as you said. So they're in a rough spot. They don't know where the Hecarim is just yet. But luckily for the bot side of Clover, he's topside. But if you know where the jungler is, you have to play like he's going to gank your lane.
Yeah, exactly. Don't want to be falling for any trap. However, Lastbus looking to gank the mid lane. The root does come out, but the minions pull up. They body block for their queen, and so nothing quite going to come out of that one.
A beautiful, beautiful play there coming in from Young. Going forward, getting that root. That is definitely something that you're looking for. It forces both summoners right away out of Champagne. So now LeBlanc needs to just try and get her base off, and she is already in a winning position.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of a winning position, they're going to try and maybe put number 2 Ginger in a winning position. However, the wave, once again, kind of a bad spot here. And now number 2 Ginger, not much that he can do, hoping to kind of bait Wang Nooney to kind of come a little bit closer so that Capture can make something happen. Gonna walk into that bush, though, and it might just make something happen.
Oh!
What? It's
Wait, nothing happened.
What?
It's just based. Wait,
that was like the perfect opportunity. What?
You just go for that. Renekton just sort of hovers around. Oh,
okay, they are going to go for this one, though. Nice little stun coming out on Loki Dosi. However, can they turn this thing around? Double root coming out to Limit Tester. A lot of damage. But nah, not quite going to be enough there. Her is going to also be taking a bit low. Number 2 Ginger, once again, stuck in this top lane limbo that we've been seeing before. However, bot lane might just be a different story because we did see for a split second that Lastbus was chilling. But in that mid lane, it ain't no chill time, and the directed cam can't focus on one fight. And now Hawkster incredibly low first blood going into the hands of her. It's a tale as true as time, honestly. Once again, her looking to pop off, and that top lane, the hook shot will save Wang Nunu's life. Loki Dosi trying to hold this turret. Are we gonna see a 4-minute here, like complete dive?
Nah, the TP's coming through.
Yeah, TP coming out. Her needs to flash to not get rooted under that turret. That definitely would have spelled the demise. Number 2 Ginger does TP in to help Loki Doki out. Loki Dosi, not Loki Doki. My bad. Nothing quite gonna come out of that one though.
Oh, but that defensive TP just feels so bad. Oh, but it is a 4-man rotation coming through in the bot
sliced
side.
And dice. The stun does connect, but Limit Tester will block. But Limit Tester might just go down if he's not careful. Number 2 Ginger does need to flash. One more burst fire will hit, and it's gonna connect. That'll get the kill. But now the rest of the gang has come to play. Her goes down. Limit Tester goes down, and Lastbus quick to follow. That's a 3-man double kill going into the hands of Captor. Very nicely done.
Once again, though, Captor just getting those early 2 kills. Same thing happened game number 1. Same thing again. I guess history does repeat itself. Captor looks good on this Hecarim every single time he pulls it out. So this is just looking good already here. But Lastbus being very proactive here. Great gank down the bot side, but that was just one of the longest extended fights I've ever seen. But Renekton did end up getting 3 assists, so that feels pretty good. But he's only just even now because the Camille got the free farm.
Yep, Young looking to maybe steal this. Not quite going to get it, though. That was a close one, to say the least. Captor going to go ahead and secure that first dragon. And so once again, things are looking good for VGA, but we've seen Clover come back from worse.
We definitely have seen Clover come back. They know how to play from the back foot and from the front. So it's definitely something to look forward to. But if we take a look here at the CS discrepancy in the mid lane here, Young,
Ooh, a lot of damage coming out. Young does need to be careful, but the rest of his gang is here. And Chapanya fan in a terrible spot, does need to dash. Oh, the Warthog not quite going to give him the distance he needed. And so Chapanya fan will get out of that one just barely. Close call.
Yes, and as we were saying, look at this CS. Ari's winning, and I think that makes sense. LeBlanc's lane isn't super strong here, and Ari is known for having a pretty solid lane phase unless she gets countered. So LeBlanc, just a lot better as the late game does go later and later. She's a great poke champ. That's what she becomes after being an assassin for the mid game. Late game, she's just poke. Her R cooldown is just really, really low, but right now, it's just going to be Ari having a solid time here in this mid lane unless, you know, LeBlanc gets charmed out of her E. That's when LeBlanc starts not having a great time.
Indeed. Honestly, farming with LeBlanc is an art form in itself. Speaking of art form in itself here, number 2, Ginger is just slicing and dicing his way over the map. Not a lot of damage coming out once again, just stuck in this limbo that we keep talking about where it's just like you get a little bit of damage off, then you heal. You do the same thing again. It's just the definition of insanity. Nothing ever comes out of it, right? They keep doing the same thing. Nothing ever changes, though. But speaking of that,
they must be best friends or something here.
Yeah, for real, bro. But Laspa, a bit of a bad spot, was coming in to try and make the kill board change, and he might just do that. He does indeed. Gets the kill on Captor. Very nicely done. That's also some shutdown money going into the back pocket of Laspa. I'm sure he's happy with that.
And Captor, I think, right-clicked in, and that E dashed him forward, which is so unfortunate, and that's actually what caused the death. If it was a regular auto, he doesn't have to go forward, but because the E was charged, because the E was prepped, he just runs into his own demise. Too fast, too furious, and he pays for his sins.
Indeed, he does go down, gives money to Laspa, who you definitely do not want to give any money to. That Lee Sin can be quite dangerous, to say the least. But we will have to see how he can kind of further that goal that he just got. On that bot lane, it's just chill time once again. Just a little bit of farming going down. Nothing really happening too much. They don't know where the jungler is for either side, I believe. So, let's just going to play this thing safe. Just farm a little bit, poke a little bit. Just do, bot lane things.
And one thing to note here, Zeri is definitely on stronger components. The Hearthbound Axe and Sheen combo is just a lot stronger than Swifties and a pickaxe. Although, I do like the fact that Loki opted for the pickaxe rather than the Noon Quiver. On that base, I just think that pickaxe and either boots or longsword is a stronger base, or just a stronger item set. Noon Quiver doesn't really give the greatest stats. It gives a decent chunk of attack speed and some good, some decent AD, but it's 1,300 gold. It's quite a bit. And its passive only helps out with minion damage. Doesn't really do all that much outside of that. It is a good component, though, to get out of the way. It is 1,300 gold, but pickaxe plus longswords just feels so much better. It's a lot more AD, especially on a champ like the Jhin, where you want AD more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. And number 2, Ginger could go for a little more AD as well, so he could finally get himself a kill here. Just constantly these trades coming out, no one there to help, and just with the wave constantly being in a shoved-in state, unfortunately, number 2, Ginger just can't really come up to help him. Gonna opt instead to go ahead and grab himself that Rift Herald here, while Chapanya fan is gonna have to pop and just dash out of that one if he wants to get out of that one alive.
And Spirit Rush, definitely something. Oh, interesting rune setup here. We have Ravenous Hunter on the LeBlanc. I don't like that much. You don't need Sustain on LeBlanc. I would have much preferred to see the Ultimate Hunter. I think that's what mages should opt for. Almond the Vamp, especially when all your abilities are AoE, just heals you for like 3 HP per spell. And when your spell's doing like 600 damage, that feels like crap.
That's true. There's really not a lot coming out from that, but who knows? Maybe that's some big brain strat that we can't comprehend. I don't know. We're gonna have to see. And Hawkster does need to be careful. A little bit of trolling. Gonna pop the Bless Cone, but you walked back. Why did you walk back? And it is gonna pay the price you pay for your trolls with your life, I'm afraid.
Please tell me that's a Pathfinder. That has to be a Pathfinder, right?
Yeah, I hope so. That's gotta be, because I mean, he saw him coming, hits the blast cone, do a little chol in there, a little ha on him, and then kind of just walks back. And what was that damage coming out from Young? But Young does need to be careful because Captor is here to save the day. A very nice flash over the wall, but it doesn't matter. You can run as fast as you want. Captor will always capture you.
Good looks from Captor, but Chapanya taking a lot of damage here. Laspa, though, looking for something. Maybe try... Oh,
that's connect the Sonic Wave. He can't get the kill, though. He got feared. The Ward Dash, though, will get it, but is he going to get out of this one alive? I think not. Did take that one turret shot. Unfortunately, will go down, and that's a shutdown going into the hands of Captor. Oh, we might just. Do we get to see the killer? Finally, we get to see the kill. Let's go.
Yes,
Number
that
2,
is
Ginger.
the solo bolo. The
Let's
single
go.
dingle up to the top side. Ginger finally gets it. There it is, 11 minutes in. The solo bolo comes through. And that's what you want to see. You have pressed the attack. You have Iron Spike Whip. Just get the exposed damage with the empowered W. You just one-tap the Camille. She can't do anything if she can't auto you for 1.5 seconds.
Absolutely. It's finally number 2 Ginger has escaped the normally you've got elo hell. He's just got trade hell at this point, right? It's just like in trading, nothing but trading. Finally gets that kill. I'm sure that's feeling great. Gonna go ahead and hit that back as well. Meanwhile, in this bot laner, Limit Tester really just he's playing the long con game when it comes to kind of moving in here. They are gonna go ahead and try and secure themselves this drag, perhaps. I'm not sure if they're gonna get it started or maybe still wait, try and bait some out. Nah, they're just gonna get this thing started. Yep.
If you get them low.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, they're just gonna grab this thing. Hawkster, Loki, nothing they can do. Captor hit that back after grabbing his wolves, so there was just no way that they were gonna be able to contest that.
One thing to worry about, though, most of the gold for the side of VGA is only on the Hecarim. Nothing on the Ahri yet, nothing on the Jhin. And where is the gold on the side of CR, on the side of Clover? It's on the Zeri. It's on the Lee Sin, and that's definitely something you want. The Lee Sin wants to be that bridge through the early game, but Zeri's a carry. Zeri is definitely something you gotta be scared of.
Indeed, indeed. We've seen it before. We will maybe just see it again this time around as well with she, her. Just, I mean, absolutely masterful piloting when it comes to Zeri. But right now, just can't really find an opening here. Loki and Hawkster, their wave clear is just a bit too strong for them. With that control ward in the bush, though, they know that they can't see him. But Hawkster's got that sixth sense going. He's like, there's no way they just left lane. There's no way. And now they're looking to get, they're looking to get number 2 Ginger, his second kill of the game. So incredibly low, slices and dices, but the slow does come out. Can they capture Wang Nooney? They might just do it. Yes, they will. Kill will go to Champagne fan.
Yoink. Mine now. That's basically what happened there. They just gave that one over to Champagne. Captor could have gotten it. Ginger could have gotten it. But no, they wanted to give it to Champagne and getting that Ahri roll and getting the snowball going. But they're looking for a dive.
Indeed, they're looking to get Loki Doses. Well, does pop himself the... Oh, no, he just goes down. It doesn't even matter. You can use the cleanse all you want. You cannot cleanse death, my friend. And now they're looking to take out number 2 Ginger here, though. But so much healing coming out from the Gore Drinker. And they will take out Limit Tester. He took the limit just a bit too far. He failed his test. He failed the exam. And now Hawkster needs to be careful here. That was Burst Fire doing a lot of damage. Number 2 Ginger, the flash! And get that kill. Very nicely done. The Sonic Wave will not connect. And now... both sides are pretty low. Need to be careful. She heard one more burst fire will do it. There, down goes the turret, and now they're gonna keep pushing the offensive. Young looking to try and get in here, see if he can make anything happen. Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. And so overall, that's I believe that was a 2 for 2.
That was a 2 for 2. Renekton and Jhin dying for
limit. I believe limit tester.
Just for limit, right?
I think it was just limit actually.
Just limit. 1 for 2.
1 for 2. Yeah.
So definitely a good look there. Good dive coming through. Was sort of a trade here, but Captor does not want to give up this blue. Really wants it to go in the pockets of Champagne. That way, you know, Ahri's mana costs, they feel kind of bad. They feel really bad. So blue buff is a necessity when you're playing Ahri.
Yeah, absolutely. Just doing everything you can to make sure that Champagne fan gets it. And, I mean, that's also that secondary kind of carry that you want to get that funnel that money into. Or just in this case, funnel just being an enabler, really, that blue buff.
It's Leandre's.
Yeah. Oh, is it going to be Leandre's build again?
It is Leandre's once again. I mean, it's not terrible here. I mean, you're going pure CDR. That means you're applying Leandre's a lot more often than you would be with the... your abilities would be going...
Wang Nooney, I don't know if that was the move. Need to be careful. Slice and dice coming out. Hextech ultimatum. But, he might just get the kill here, actually. He's going to get it indeed. And now Captor is going to get that kill, though. Very nicely done. CR Young not quite going to get the root. Are going to try and hunt them now, but can't quite get anything out of that. So will be a 1 for 1.
That is the power of Ignite. For 60% healing reduction with the press of button. Love to see it. It just feels so bad to play against as a champion like the Renekton, like the Aatrox, who's super reliant on getting those gigantic heals off, and just to have them heal like 100 HP when they're supposed to heal like 500. It just feels so terrible.
Yeah, it is a punch in the gut indeed. And number 2 Ginger was punched more than just in the gut. He was just punched to death. Did go down. Now is 1 and 3, and it's just things not looking too good for him. We were talking about he needs to kind of win and dominate that lane. Well, he's not necessarily doing bad.
He's winning the lane.
Yeah, he's still winning the lane itself. Yeah, but it's just like I don't feel like he's really in the like that OP position he'd really like to be.
Not yet. But, I mean, with the Bruiser item changes, if he gets that Death Stance, he could definitely be in that position. Those resets that you get from getting a takedown, it's real something to think about. It's really scary, especially when you're building a lot of AD. And Bruiser items also give more AD as well, so you're going to be healing more, and it's just really, really strong. I think Death Stance is one of the best changes that's come through. It doesn't give that insane amount of lifesteal that it did before, but it does give some sustain during fights. It gives the bleed passive is really important. That's what matters on that item.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's very scary.
Yeah, it is indeed quite scary. It's like you were still doing damage to them. They come back from the back, and then all of a sudden you're not doing anything to them. And it's like, what the hell just happened?
What happened? What damage? 30% of it. It's almost like an exhaust if you think about it, which is 30%.
That's 40, I believe. Yeah, 40 something like that. And speaking of that, though, they are gonna bring down number 2 Ginger to 0% HP. They will get that kill. Very nicely done. And now they're gonna go ahead and secure themselves that Rift Herald. Probably just back. Oh, I was about to say, if they don't grab that thing, they're trolling, bro. But they are gonna grab it.
Just a little bit of trolling here. Actually, LeBlanc gonna grab that one, so Laspa still has access to the wards. That is definitely a good idea there. But they are running straight for the dragon here. Looking to maybe try and grab this one, just Lee Sin. But Zeri is just zoning on her own.
Zeri just does not care, but looking to do some damage. Gonna dash over that wall, but right into the Karma Q, unfortunately. And they're just gonna push this wave. Probably just put down the. Actually, yeah, they are gonna put down the Rift Herald. Honestly, I would have liked to maybe see them save it. It's just gonna crash into the turret and then
it doesn't
die.
do anything here.
It doesn't really do much. They really didn't need to apply that much pressure to secure a Cloud Drake. But I mean, it is what it is. What's done is done. We'll crash into the turret, get a little more damage off on it, and it will unfortunately die. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Shirley, that's the second one, I believe.
I think Shelly. I think Shelly's the first.
Shelly's the first. Shirley's the second.
Yeah.
I believe it's the second one. I'm not too certain. Either way.
Yeah, it's the second one.
So it is Shirley. Shirley falls. Unfortunately, doesn't really get anything for her sacrifice. Feels bad, man. Can we get?
We are here to remember Shirley, who ran his head into a turret and died, and number 2 Ginger might just die here as well if he's not careful. And he's gonna go down. Can't even move. Too much PC coming now. Good night. Goodbye. Welcome to Outback. we're eating just straight up crocodile for dinner here.
Rip Shirley and Rip Ginger. Just so unfortunate. Hey, they actually do get the tower. Okay. Shirley's sacrifice not in vain. With all of the damage coming through, and then later on, a little late, not gonna lie, but they still get the tower. That's what matters.
Better late than never,
And they are going to try and get some top tower, some top pressure at least. Try and get this Camille back. She is down a significant amount of gold, 700. So she is not super strong just yet. But, I mean, the Renekton's not doing his job, and Camille only being down 700. Hey, that's not the worst thing in the world for that top laner. Especially with the early rune setup that the Renekton did go. He went to press the attack, looking for the one-tap, the exposure damage. Definitely something there. But Ahri building... Oh, she actually went the loot and she went for the damage build. Okay, I dig it.
Yeah, definitely, she's finally listening. Finally listening. Does pick up that loot, so we're gonna be doing a lot more damage in comparison kind of to that Leandry's, at least when it comes to more like burst potential. And they are just looking to take over the map here. I mean, we just see him already just invading into the side of Clover's jungle. They are not afraid. Limit Tester needs to be a bit careful here. Gonna go ahead and just stun Captor. Not much gonna come out of that one, but just applying a little pressure.
Just a little bit of pressure going to be applied there. They already have that mid-tier 1 down, so a lot of the map here is open for the side of Clover. They already have 3 outers down, so they're in a pretty solid position to just find some picks, make something happen, and just walk up. And just not have to worry too much, because the vision line of theirs should be up a lot further than the vision line set up from the side of VGA.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, we're still just waiting for like this kind of like deciding team fight to really just see who is going to be more coming out on top, so to speak. So far, really just really been a lot of scuffles on there. I'm trying to see some real action here. What's going on?
Been a little bit. We've only seen like a couple just catches. Nothing really explosive happen for the past maybe 5 minutes so far, but it's looking like another catch.
Oh, indeed it is. The Honic Wave on Captor is going to connect. It's going to dash out of that one. Zenya's blade won't quite hit its mark. And so Captor will get out of that one. Ooh, a lot of poke damage already coming out from Young, though. That's not what you like to see when you're Renekton as well.
No, he gets that wave shoved into him. That's really sad when you're not allowed to play aggressive there as the Renekton. You need to be playing aggressive. I mean, he's doing all right here. Wang Nooney, though, can't really do all that much to Japanya fan, especially with Spirit Rush available. Uh-oh.
Oh, now we might see once again a bit of a catch going out. Oh, look at that, though. Number 2 Ginger is going to wait and bide his time, but you waited too long because Hawkster is going to go down. Bit of a team fight coming out. Is stunned, is able to dash away, but will go down to the Ignite. Once again, there's that 60% reduction with the touch of a button and a kill as well. And Loki Dosi getting ran down, but just barely escapes. And I don't know if that was the move coming up from Capture, but silence those cell phones. Take your seats because the curtain call comes out. But that play is not getting a very high rating. Maybe 1 star at least. Not quite going to find anything. But oh my God, the Ari coming in is going to get that 1,000 gold shutdown. Not quite going to get Limit Tester and will be taken out. Japanya fan just trying to find something there. Does find that kill, but will go down ultimately.
1K gold, you can honestly say worth. It was the best of a bad situation. You got the Zeri, you at least got something in return for the fact that your team just got triple killed in a straight 3v3. Feels pretty bad.
It does feel bad. Oh my God, Loki Doki, no way, so close. Oh, Young. There's no way. Is Young gonna grab this? Young might just get, as if. Loki Doki, he hits it and the healing from that. He will survive to fight another day. That was way too cool, bro. If I was Young, a couple of keycaps are about to fly off on my my keyboard, bro. I'm gonna be real.
I warp tonic, baby. This is too good.
Indeed.
And yep, you should definitely have a refillable at 22 minutes. No, you should not. You shouldn't have any. The only potion you should have at this point in time is corrupting at most, which is, I mean, Chapanya has that. Good. It's just a great thing to have. It amps your damage just a little bit. 15 over 15 matters a little bit at this point. HP pools are a little larger, but you're not really seeing too many items built just yet.
Yeah, that's true.
But the mana sustain's always good. It's not just HP, so it's definitely something here.
That being said, though, one team is going to have plenty of time to find a new build when they go into the fountain here, because we do see the Solar Flare coming out. We do see the stun on Hawkster, incredibly low. Looking here, though, number 2 Ginger going in, but it just doesn't have the damage that he needs. Will go down. Wang Nooney tanking, absorbing so much, keeping that 3-man busy in that top, allowing his team to do so much damage. Another kill coming out. Captor is going to get out of that one, though, alive. Young sent his clone after him just to taunt him. The clone goes down, but ultimately that is a 2-0 for the side of Clover, who are looking to be back in this match and might just look actually to get the Baron here.
Not only that, they also got the Dragon, so they are now on Soul Point, and Cloud Soul on Zeri.
Oh, Lord. Oh, no.
Just running around at the speed of sound, but other than that, they aren't going to be able to grab this Baron here. The Hecarim's on the bot side. He knows he can't contest this. If he does die, it's going to feel really bad. He only will have the Ghost up, and he also doesn't have a way over the wall. There is no blast cone. There's just no reason to contest this. There's no way he gets in with even hoping to get a steal. So just a good decision making there, making sure. But Zeri, once again, hitting those 3 items while the Jhin hasn't even finished a second. His Zeri is just in such a strong position right now. I believe most golden, not even close. Yeah, once again, we're stuck with Zeri in the 5-digit club while everyone else is stuck at 4.
Oh my God, Zeri at this point is just going to start opening up like an entrepreneur class. This is how I made 5-digit gold in 24 minutes. Steal my strategy.
Yeah, this is... See, in my garage, I don't have Lamborghinis. No, I have a Trinity Force. That's what I have.
And a Titanic. I also have a Runa. Do you? I don't think so. I'm going to teach you how to do it, though. Don't worry about it.
Only through knowledge. That's how I'm going to teach you.
Exactly. Oh my God. That being said, though, someone needs to give the side of VGA some knowledge on how they're going to win this thing. So, Salt, what do they need to do to get back in this thing?
At this point, they just need to try and get a pick on the Zeri or on Young. That's the main way. And this could be the pick.
Did they listen? They might have just listened. Unfortunately, not quite gonna find the pick, doing a lot of damage. So they're gonna look to Wang Nooney instead. They cancel the hook shot. Hextech Ultimatum does come out with so much damn damage. Number 2 Ginger does go down. Captor trying to find something, but he's not, because there's the 4. No, the 5-man, dare I say. And Captor will go down. Not enough damage. Too much healing coming out from the side of Clover.
Just too much healing and a good anti-heal. Just ignite, shut down Ginger right away. Yep. That feels so terrible. I was like, I'm in the back line. I can heal up. No, I can't. I'm ignited. I don't heal for anything.
I'm in the gray screen now. What happened?
Yep. There's 1920s, something like that. Feels bad, man. The Renekton's 1-8. He's just been seeing gray screen this entire game. I mean, he got 1 solo kill. That's about it. And so far, this pick just not making things happen. it's all about the top jungle synergy, but there was no top pressure. There was no jungle pressure up on that top side, no jungle proximity.
Indeed, and now looking to apply even more pressure, going to take out that inhibitor, but the very nice onslaught of shadows into the wall, but Wang Nooney does not care. He's so tanky, and oh my god, they're going to turn this thing around. The whole side of VGA was full health, and they're still going to lose this fight. The double kill coming out. Last but going to go gold, just biding his time, and Zeri taking out yet another kill here on Loki Dosi. Hawkster kind of stuck there, and just like that, Wang Nooney's the only one who goes down here.
Yeah, Wang Nooney being the only one who goes down. Both top laners not having the greatest performance of their lives, but, I mean, this is the performance of a lifetime for she, her once again. Oh, yeah. Getting the Zeri. Young also put in some work, and Laspa redeeming himself for game number 1.
Just BM, bro. You don't got to do it to him like that. They are going to kick him another kill here. Number 2 Ginger trying his best, but just doesn't do enough. Indeed. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Clover, they take game 2, and they take yet another W in their books. They're looking to be 4-0 while they send VGA packing out of the winners only club. They're like, no, you're done here.
Yep, nope. This is for me and Mint. It's basically what they're saying. Yep. We're here with Mint. We're here at the top. We're here to shine. And shine they did. I guess their team is a floor leaf Clover because they looked pretty lucky tonight with some of the drafts that I did see. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Overall,
Renekton's cursed. Renekton's cursed.
Renekton's cursed, but overall, they do grab the W, and well, it is what it is. Clover, a very nice performance. Unfortunately, once again, we just can't see those damage graphs. But
my prediction, let's go! Yeah.
Indeed, Salt getting that prediction, the 2-1 for Clover. And so did Proof as well. Even though he's not here, he's with us.
He's here in spirit. He's here in chat.
Exactly.
Hi, Proof.
Yeah,
let's go. We're together here. We predicted 2-1 Clover. And we got our wishes.
Indeed. I can only wish to live up to the Proof name. For some reason, it still says that here under the box. But I did fall short. I did think VGA was going to take this thing home. They did not. They disappointed me. I'm going to have some harsh words with them in the Discord after this. I'll tell you that much. VGA disappointed me. Come on, man. What's going on? Disappointing.
I mean, they had a good show in game 1, but it was the reverse sweep. I mean, in a best of 3 series, it's 2 games, but still something. They made it work, and they just looked really solid there in those last 2 games. And a lot of it, I mean, I definitely think VGA had pretty solid drafts, especially in game 1 and game 2. Game 3 was where it faltered a little bit, in my opinion. Again, like I said, VGA just had no damage in their comp. I think I mentioned that at the latter half of like the spectator delay, but yeah, they had no damage, and in game 2, they also built 0 damage. They had damage, they just didn't build any. So how do they ever think they're going to take down a Camille or a Nautilus or a Diana and Vex with the Zhonya's perma? I don't know.
And I feel like they also just weren't prioritizing the right lanes, right? So it's like you have number 2 Ginger, right, who you need to get ahead. You have
He's on the Renekton.
Exactly. You have Chapanya Fan as well, who you hoping to do a lot of damage. But there was just no like prio coming out for them to kind of enable them to do that damage. We saw that the wave, especially in that top lane, right, it was always shoved under Wang Nooney's turret, and because of that, Wang Nooney didn't have to break a sweat about being ganked, because like, what is he gonna do? Run under my turret? No, because that's suicide.
He did. He did get a solo kill by doing that, mind you.
That's true. That's true. That it did work once, and then after that, it just kind of all went downhill. Everything fell apart. And same for Chapanya Fan. It's like we saw him. He was busting out the moves, but I mean, at the end of the day, Chapanya Fan only goes 3-3-3. Just can't do that much, unfortunately. And ultimately, they end up losing. They just don't have that consistent damage that you were talking about. That is so important that we see coming out here from Clover, especially with Zeri, who's the carry, right? It's like she, her, doing so much damage with those burst fires all the time.
Yeah, and Zeri still looked good game 1, so I definitely like the ban coming through in game 2. VJ opting to get rid of that. They thought Zeri was the scariest champ, and they were right. They were right. It was definitely the Zeri that popped off here, but she, her just did damage no matter what champ they were on the Aphelios, and Zeri twice. It was just a lot of work coming through. Top laners, both of them didn't really have great performances, I'm gonna be honest here, but I mean, for the most part, though, they were left alone, so not too much jungle proximity, but that's what I wanted to see out of both teams. I wanted jungle proximity on the top side of the map. You have a Renekton, you have to try and get that lead up there and transition it downwards. That's why you pick a champ like Renekton, so he can be there, he can roam, he has decent shove, he can double E the wave and Q it, and that should be an instant minion wave gone, and then you look for a rotation down towards that mid lane or the bot lane, something, just make something happen. That's why you pick Renekton. or you pick it with the Nidalee, something that's AP, so you just instantly one-tap them because you have no CC. Renekton with 1.5 seconds of free CC with an empowered W, just make things really easy for you to land your skill shots.
Yeah, absolutely. At the end of the day, Clover were the ones who made it happen. They got themselves the win, and with that, they stay undefeated, looking now only to beat Mint, really, when it comes to being the only defeated team in the
That's
entirety of
true.
the series. So we'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, thank you so much for staying around, sticking around, watching the match. I mean, I almost don't even have to think. It's like there's no way you would have left. This was way too close to say the least. This was such an action-packed 3 games. Salt, thanks so much for being with me here today, brother. And fortunately, Proof,
Anytime.
we miss you, man.
We miss you.
Proof. But fortunately, hey,
Unlucky.
he's here in spirit. Unlucky indeed.
He's here in chat too.
he's always in chat. So he's not only here in spirit, he's here in chat as well. So that being said, though, I'm sure we'll be seeing him back here next week, and then this mug right here will be gone, so y'all don't gotta worry about that. That being said, though, thank you so much for being here, guys, and hopefully you have a great rest of your night, rest of your morning, whatever the time zone is. Time's weird, time's construct, whatever. Exactly. That being said, though, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.